Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film fam, and welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name's Dion.
My name is T'Challa.
And today we're doing the 2018 Marvel movie Black Panther. So I know this isn't your first time seeing this movie, T'Challa, but how did this compare to your other viewing?
Well, the first time it was quite scarring.
Of course, I can imagine.
Yeah, going through the whole story, losing my dad right at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. Having my country taken from me, and it was a tough go. But the second viewing, I'd been through it before, right?
Yeah.
So I knew what to expect, and I came in prepared. And all right, that's enough of this.
Yeah, for the audio listeners that don't know why we're giggling, Scott's wearing a Black Panther mask. So the YouTube listeners know, but yeah, do you want to give the background on that, or do you want to actually give your views on the movie first?
First, let me take it off.
Okay, yeah. Take off the mask.
Okay.
All right, the mask is off.
Fucking mask off.
Headphones are back.
And get the headphones back on.
Okay,
we're back.
We're back in it.
We're back. All right, guys, I'm Scott.
And I'm Dion. And like I said, we're doing the Black Panther movie. And give me your thoughts on it. Non-T'Challa thoughts.
Non-biased thoughts. No, this movie's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the best of the MCU.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because this is our first time doing an MCU movie.
That's true.
And we're both comic book fans. And in the height of the MCU, you had to see every movie.
Oh yeah.
We watched all the movies, and this is one of the top ones. I think also for the culture. It's a huge one culturally speaking. I remember when it came out, I went to the barbershop and everyone was talking about it. Everyone in the community, it was huge, not just for representation, but also the message in it.
Yeah.
All of those things considered, I thought it was important and great movie. Made $1.35 billion.
It's crazy.
This is their second highest grossing.
What's their first? Oh, is Infinity? It made more than Endgame. What about Endgame?
No, Infinity War.
It goes Infinity and then.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh snap!
I'm almost certain. I looked it up and I didn't write it down, but it's been a couple days now since I took my notes. But I can almost guarantee it was Infinity War first. Let me double check real quick.
I feel like it's Endgame.
I see, because that's why I need to double check, because I feel like you might be right. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Highest grossing.
I mean,
MCU
even
movie.
if it's in the top 3 still, that's still a crazy impressive.
It's definitely top 3.
100%, especially because this is the first. I mean, maybe there's some small Black Panther movie that came out in 1990 that nobody knew about.
I'm apparently completely wrong.
Okay, where did you get this from?
Well, apparently, because what I'm seeing now is Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, okay.
The Avengers, and then Avengers Age of Ultron, and then Black Panther.
Oh shit!
I feel like that can't be right though. No way. Dude. Age of Ultron made $1.3 billion. No way.
Yeah, I didn't feel like. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Back then, everything was making $1 billion. They were on a crazy run.
Yeah, they were on a crazy run.
They were printing money back then. So to think that made $1 billion, which Age of Ultron is not a. I don't think it's.
It's not $1 billion movie.
It's not $1 billion.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I like it. Honestly, all the Avengers movies are good.
Yeah,
but it's not $1 billion movie.
No, it really isn't. But then that's
great. Not better than Black Panther.
No, it isn't. That 100% isn't. I mean, Civil War is not even an Avengers movie, but I think it's better than Age of Ultron. But
it's basically an Avengers movie.
I know. That's always my pushback when people are always like, "Now we're going on a tangent." It's not really a tangent because we're talking about the Marvel. Yeah, but people are like, "Oh, Captain America's got the best trilogy." I'm like, one of his movies is an Avengers movie. It's not even fair.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a cheat code.
Yeah, and I'll give them Winter Soldier, but the first Captain America is not that good.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, but for that, people are rounding that trilogy. I'm like, the first one's okay.
Right.
The second one's good. The third one's I don't even like to call it a Captain America movie.
Yeah. No, I see.
It's
what you're
just
saying.
missing Hulk.
I mean, but
Thor.
but also if you say it's the best trilogy, because if you compare that to Thor,
Yeah.
first one maybe comparable to Captain America.
Yeah,
First one, like
it's
okay.
okay. Yeah.
Second one is ass.
Yeah.
And the third one's good.
Yeah. It's just so different than
Yeah.
the first
And
two.
then if you Iron Man, the first one's good. Second one's not
okay.
is okay.
And the third one's
Third one's terrible.
Yeah.
So it still is the best trilogy.
I think I gave it to Guardians. That's my. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think Guardians.
See, my take on Guardians. I think the first one's good.
Yeah.
Second one is terrible.
You hate.
I hate the second one.
I don't hate the second one. I don't know why you hate it.
It's not good.
I guess what? yeah. That's
I like
fair.
the third one though. Third one's
Okay. Yeah.
good. So yeah, okay, fair enough. I can.
It's
accept the
debatable.
Guardians.
It's debatable.
You're right. It's
I
debatable.
think those are the only ones you really, because not all the ones even got to 3 movies yet. I think Black Panther's gonna get there. Captain Marvel. I don't know if they want to make a third one.
No, but even Black Panther, the second one is not
Yeah, that's
great.
true. It's just long.
The second one?
Yeah, I don't think it
I
needs to
could
be
see
that. It's
that.
almost 3 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't think.
And like I said, this one I think was so important because it was the first time we had a black superhero main character, and that's the novelty of it. Like the movie's good, but there's also that adds to it. Mm-hmm. The second one doesn't have that.
That's true.
So it's not that on top of it. But I mean, even throwing that out the window, the first one's still a better movie.
No, 100% agree.
But you were saying like the backstory on the mask.
Oh, okay.
So I will give some backstory on the mask. Because
Yeah.
we in when was that?
It must have been around when the movie came out.
True.
So
it would
like
have been
2018, 2019.
19 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Probably
in
18. I think it's 18.
maybe.
That sounds. I think it's literally around the time because the movie came out during Black History Month. I think it was
In
literally.
February?
Yeah, it came out in Black History Month, and then that what you're about to talk to, we went to a beer pong festival.
Yeah, go ahead, you say.
And that was after school was done, so it must have been
Summer?
like
it was
April.
probably the summer. Yeah.
So
you're
it was right after that. So it was 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to that's right. We went to a beer pong festival tournament, like big tournament thing. And our costumes was I was Black Panther, you were Killmonger. You braided your hair and did it up and wore the jean jacket like he does in the museum. We still have a picture of it.
Yeah, we still have a picture.
So
we'll throw it up.
Yeah, we'll throw it up. We'll throw it up.
We'll throw it up on Instagram, and I'll even add it to the YouTube clip.
Okay,
so the
nice.
YouTube people can watch us. They don't just hear us talk about it. And then people are listening to it. We're going to post it on our Instagram story.
Yeah. You can
So
see us in
it.
2018. That was dope, bro.
No, it
you
was
look
dope.
sick as Killmonger.
No, I when I looked back, I was like, damn, I actually put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
I
just wore black clothes and threw a mask on.
I mean, there's not much. I didn't expect you to come in full garb,
Yeah.
like fucking tights and everything. That'd been too much.
And vibranium.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that much.
No, exactly.
I only found enough for a mask.
No, it was fun though. It was
absolutely.
Palooza Beer Pong Festival is the name of it. I remember I had to look it up. Their Instagram is still live, even though they haven't done it in like 3 years.
Oh shit.
It's just done. The dude that
Okay.
runs it just stopped. But
Yeah.
I was looking to see they didn't post us on their Instagram.
No, there were people with crazy
They
costumes.
did have
Remember
ours
that
was
dude?
pretty. What?
Remember that the dude with the lobster?
That was the first thing I saw. That's one of their top, like their pinned posts. that was pretty.
So they
good.
had this dude. He was basically in a bathing suit, painted himself red. He had like claws and like antennas. I guess. I don't
Yeah.
think, they must not be called antennas, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like the
whatever it
little
is.
things sticking out of their head. And his partner was in a chef costume, and he carried around like in a wagon full of water.
Yeah,
like
it
he
was
was
crazy.
boiling.
It's commitment.
That's crazy. Bro.
Heavy command. But they clearly took a picture of us. Just to put on their IG. We didn't win the costume contest or something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I scrolled. I didn't scroll that far. There's like 300 pics. I probably got like 150, and I was like, all right, we're not here. I did see Austin, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. His
was-
costume was just a white T-shirt, and it was like, he was like a Tinder thing. Like it said Tinder age, and then it
Oh,
said
like
swipe
swipe
left or
right or-
something.
okay,
Which
yeah.
is, that's pretty creative.
Yeah, for sure.
But we went on there.
No, damn.
Yeah, it's all right, though.
Racism.
I was thinking that.
That's crazy,
but
bro.
I don't know. shout out Ryan. He's the one that started all that shit.
Yeah.
Ottawa born. Oh yeah, I also saw the Nelk Boys there. Anyone shout out to anybody that knows the Nelk Boys?
I remember that.
I had a picture with them too. When I was looking for the picture, I took a picture with
remember
freaking
that.
Kyle. Yeah, from the Nelk Boys.
I remember that. Yeah.
Because they had like a little VIP section. I was like, oh shit. And yeah, I remember he was like, oh shit, Black Panther.
Oh,
And he
really?
Took a picture. Yeah.
Was I not there? I don't remember.
That's what the weird thing. I was like, why wasn't Scott in the picture with me? It was just us two. I don't know where you were.
Oh, I don't know.
Weird.
Oh well.
But to go back to your like the cultural thing too, I have another like anecdote to go with that. It's just like you said, you went to the barber shop and like everyone was talking about it. it became like this huge phenomenon, like the whole Wakanda Forever thing, like the little crowd. I don't want to hit my mic here, but you know what I mean. The crossing your arms.
The mic,
yeah, that's true. You move the mic, doing the little
there you go.
Wakanda Forever thing. Yeah. That shit was so popular. Everyone was doing it. It's like it made you realize that like most movies that are coming out of the MCU didn't really have that. Like everyone like they watched the movie and they liked it, but there wasn't like a thing that people were doing. Like people were doing this, people were doing the crossed arms, like. I don't remember. Maybe you can remind me. Was there other movies that had like things like that?
Well, I'm trying to think what would be a
That's
thing.
what I mean.
So I think I mean right, there's the cultural thing and black people are extra.
Yeah.
So you know they're
yeah.
They're
people are showing up in dashikis to watch
exactly. Just throw it up to the theater in dashikis. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, no,
like,
100%.
But like so they're going to take it to the next
100%.
level, like, you know, so they're added, but I mean if you think of like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, what's their like what would be the thing? No, I guess Captain America, you know, I could do this all day, but that's like saying.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's not really.
There wasn't like a thing, like a fist throw up, like a gangster. I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I feel like there's just because this has the thing. I don't know.
It just works. No, 100%. But the story I was gonna tell is I don't think I've told you about. I went to something called Kin Games when I went to Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
So when I went to Edmonton, it's to explain it briefly for anyone that doesn't know what Kin Games is. So basically what they do is they have all the schools in Canada, they get the kin programs, and then you like kind of try out. You do like you just try out, and they pick 15 people from each program, the ones that want to be in it. It's not like everyone in the program. If you want to be part of this, you're part of it. And I got to be part of it, and we went to Edmonton, and each night, like we're there for 5 nights. Each night's a different thing. One night's just like partying. One night's more of like you're playing sports, stuff like that. But there's a dinner that happens, like a banquet at the end of it. And at the end of the banquet, everyone dresses up and everything. And I don't know why it happened, because everyone was kind of showing out. Some people were wearing like their traditional stuff. Like I'm just Canadian dude, so I just wear a normal, like I wore my Superman freaking bow tie just to add something to it.
Yeah.
I still had like those twists, like the same thing when we went. And
so this was in 2018?
It was in 2018, yeah. And I think it was actually before we did that was all
it was during school.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was in March, so it was before. And there was just this moment when everyone was taking pictures, and then all the black people, literally every single black people from every single pool went on top, and someone just screamed like, "Yo, let's do the Wakanda Forever thing." So everyone took a picture. I'll show you two after. Everyone did the Wakanda Forever pose, and I'm like, that's crazy. The movie just like we would all probably just took a picture anyway, but like we're like, yo, that movie just came out. Let's all do the Wakanda
Let's
thing.
do the thing.
Yeah, and we did the lip thing too. We did one with the lip, and we did one with the crosshair. I'm like, that's crazy. The movie, I know, it's just hit people.
You're right. It just hit me. But I mean, it's a good movie. Like we talk about the message already. You know, like that. You know, helping those people in position. Like the message is also really well like conveyed throughout the movie. You know, like we have T'Challa early on, right? He's super traditional and like he's just doing everything that his dad was doing, and until he learns right the faults of what his dad was doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, creating Killmonger, then he's like, no, we can do more to help the world. You know, we shouldn't just be hiding away here. And like,
no, for sure.
This whole even Killmonger's motivation, right? Like, obviously he takes it to extreme, and that's why he's a villain.
Yeah.
But like his motivation of like, you know, helping marginalized groups rise up. Yeah. Is a good message. No, and you know, I think that's what another thing that makes the movie so good is that like having a villain that has something that you can understand, not just like I want to take over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you know, like get all the money in the world to hold people hot, you know, all that classic shit.
No, yeah, the cliche.
So like all that stuff that adds and like it makes people think, but it's also so fun and like easy to digest, and it works in the MCU. And then, you know, add in the black power thing and black people being extra. It's just like it's just
perfect recipe.
Exactly. A recipe for badness.
No, 100%. And you know, the funny thing is, I remember when the first time I watched the movie, the first thing I stepped out of the theater when I had was actually disappointment.
Really?
Yeah. And it was because it was so overhyped to me. Cause like you were saying, remember what you said? You think it's one of the best movies in the MCU? People were telling me that before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
So like in your mind, like that's the worst thing to go into a movie with, where I'm like, really, this is the best. Like we're almost at the end now. We've seen all those movies, so you're telling me this is one of the
lot of good ones.
Like, a lot of good ones, yeah. So I'm like, shit, this is gonna be better than Civil War. Or would you just watch Civil War? You tell me this is better than that? All right. So I watched it and waited. So I watched it through those lenses, and I was like, it wasn't that great. And then the second time, and I've watched it a couple times ever since. Now I'm like, okay, now I can actually just watch the movie and appreciate it.
Yeah.
I watched it again pretty short afterwards, and I was like, okay, this movie This movie's good. It wasn't. I don't think it was. I don't think it was the best thing of all time. The way some people were throwing it at me. I do think it's really good though.
Yeah. No, honestly, I kind of feel a similar way. I won't say that when I stepped out, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't that far because I wasn't super hyped up on it going in. Because I watched it pretty early, when it came out. But you're right. Like a lot of people because it was started getting so much hype, a lot of people went to see it and they didn't even see any other MCU movies, right? So they're like, oh, this is the best MCU movie, but they haven't seen any of the other ones, right? So they're just saying that. Mm-hmm. But I see what you're saying that like, because when I initially watched it too, I was like, we just saw Civil War. That was so good because when you're seeing it in theaters, you're like, we got Iron Man, we got Bucky, we got Vision, we got Wanda, we got Black Widow, we got everybody. Yeah. Right? So it's basically an Avengers movie.
No, for sure.
And so like all of these characters is what makes it so exciting. So that's but the movie itself, it's still a really good movie.
No, it is still really good.
Civil War is still a really good movie, but you're right. Like on a rewatch, I still really enjoy that movie. But this one, I think the story is, I don't even know if it's better, but like they're comparable. Yeah. They're definitely comparable.
Oh, for sure.
They're both in the top tier of MCU movies.
Oh yeah, 100%. And my thing is when I say like I was disappointed, it wasn't so much I was disappointed because like the movie was bad. Yeah. I think it was more so just like I was waiting for that extra thing that made this. Why is this the best? And like there was a lot of great things, and I thought like we talked about Killmonger, I thought was great and his whole motivation stuff. And I was waiting for that extra thing, and then I didn't get that. So I was like, I couldn't even enjoy this movie that was really good because I was waiting for like that extra, like maybe like a crazy plot twist. I'm like, why is it so? Yeah. You know, I'm constantly like, why is it? Is it going to be the fight scene at the end? Is it going to be? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that. So then when I didn't get that thing, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's honestly, I think that's exactly what it is the final fight. Yeah. Like in my opinion, that's where I'm like, the final fight in this is okay. Yeah. And you know? And like for a superhero movie, basically it's a recipe that the MCU created, right? Yeah. You know, they'll build up their characters. You'll have a fight here and there to start out. You'll have like an initial battle between your villain and your main character. And then it'll come back and lead to the big battle at the end. Mm-hmm. And in this one, it's okay. Yeah. You know, like it's, you got the what is it? The border tribe fighting their warriors. Mm-hmm. And then the Jabari comes in and then I like that we get the one-on-one.
No, exactly.
You know, with Black Panther and Killmonger. That's actually pretty cool. But like most movies, they build up to this giant fight. It's a whole country that runs on vibranium and they're so advanced. Like you're kind of maybe expecting a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And it's just, they're just fighting in a field. Yeah. And then nothing really happens. Nothing really comes from it.
No, it's true. No.
Like that's maybe where you were like, okay, building up, this is supposed to be the best movie. We need a killer ass final battle. And we don't really get it.
Yeah. And I think that definitely is a big part of it too, where I was kind of just like, I was waiting for something I think to happen in the fight specifically. And then I was like, it didn't happen. But again, this doesn't, it's not a knock on the movie in the sense of like, it was bad. Movie. Well, no, I mean, okay, yeah, it is a knock.
It is a knock on the movie because it's not a perfect movie.
Yeah, no, it isn't a perfect movie. I don't even think that it exists, but
no, exactly.
Some people say that. I'm just like,
that it's a perfect movie.
No. Just people like the movie they really liked. Like, was like the perfect movie.
Fair enough.
Nothing's a perfect movie. Oh, I'm sure I can find something. Because you tell me something's a perfect movie, I'm going to watch it. Now my brain's going to look for something. Yeah. I'm like, is it perfect? What about scene 1? This happened. That dude's shoe was untied. Why the fuck that happened?
That's what the lazy war is all about, bro.
Exactly.
That's what Ferris Bueller is.
No, exactly.
A perfect movie will have no Ferris Bueller. And we haven't come across one of those yet.
We have movies where we struggle.
That's true.
And we like say things.
I struggled in this one.
Yeah, we say things. I found something.
Okay. Yeah, well, I found something too.
But. Oh, okay, yeah. But I think I had like a runner up, and then I found something. I was like, wait, this is way more lazy. Maybe we have the same thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe we have the same thing. But before we get to that. I don't know if you made your list because I think before this we kind of talked about because it's the new year. We wished Happy New Year on the last one. It was actually not even for
so people, we can't say it anymore.
Yeah, so we can't say it anymore. Yeah, it's done. And if you see me, don't say Happy New Year. You missed your window.
What's the like appropriate
window?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like if it's like February 14th,
nah,
and you say Happy New Year, I'm like, get out of my face.
Yeah, don't say Happy New Year to me. You got like. I'll give you 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, I'll give you 2 weeks. Because everyone's like traveling. Everyone's kind of moving back around, shuffling back into their regular routines and stuff like that. Maybe you just haven't seen me in a bit. You can shoot me a text. The text I'll give you.
No, the text is even worse.
Yeah, you could have done it. Yeah,
if you
done
text me like a month later, why the hell did you? What is that?
Don't text me outside the first week of it.
Yeah.
Because you could have texted me that whole week.
Yeah.
You didn't think of maybe the first day, the second day, third day, fourth day, seventh day. Now you want to text me 2 weeks later, Happy New Year?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Yeah, like that's weird. Yeah, no, that's weird. Yeah, don't do that.
I feel like in January you're good.
Yeah, for person, in person. Yeah. Text week.
Yeah,
text you got.
I'd agree. Yeah,
but so with that being said, for 2024, I cut it down. I don't know how long of a list you made. I just made a list of 5.
Yeah, same.
5.
Yeah.
So
not even.
Okay. Well, this is for 2024.
Right.
So what were some of your favorite movies from 2024?
Well, I got Dune 2.
Okay.
That was a big one. Just huge blockbuster.
Yeah.
Great movie. The first one was great. Second one even better in my opinion. So that was a really exciting one and just massive. Like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
The Wild Robot.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I liked it. I saw it with Alexis a couple months ago, and it's a good movie.
Okay. No, I definitely want to check it out. I was planning on watching it, but I don't know why me and Eloise didn't go see it, but I wanted to see it.
You just saw other stuff or whatever.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. I think it came out around TIFF, didn't it? Around that time?
Well, it was at TIFF.
Yeah, I remember it was at TIFF.
It came out in theaters, I think, more in like October, November.
Okay, so a little bit after TIFF. 2 weeks after. Or something.
Yeah, a little bit after, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm definitely going to go still watch it. I'm still curious about it. But you liked it?
It's a good movie. I think it's got a lot of good characters.
Okay.
It looks amazing.
Okay.
Because they did this cool thing where it's like part drawn, part animated.
Oh, okay.
Like the back.
Kind of like...
in different spots.
Kind of like Spider-Man? Like Into Spider-Verse? Have you seen any of them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen the movies.
Okay, the way you said,
no, I've seen the movies, but I don't know if they did this. I have no idea what their animation style is. But I know for this one, like the background, in some scenes, not all of them, but the background they like painted. Oh, okay. And then they put the animated characters on top of that.
Oh shoot!
So yeah, it's in some of the scenes, it's visually really really interesting, and the message is cool. It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of cool characters.
Okay, cool.
I put William Tell on the list.
Oh, true.
That we saw at TIFF. I really liked it.
No, I really did too. I forgot that was on my thing because I actually I was going through trying to remember all the movies I watched, and I guess we watched it at TIFF. I had no record of it anywhere because it was but yeah, that is a good movie. I don't know if it's coming out in North America.
I don't know either. I mean, it was
in English, so I feel like why not?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's definitely going to be a smaller one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure most people that are listening haven't seen.
Yeah.
And but if you get a chance to check it out, it's called William Tell. Really good movie.
Yeah.
And
it's really
we
good.
saw a couple at TIFF, and this was my favorite.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
I don't even know if it's out yet.
No idea.
Yeah, you can go. People are gonna look up William Tell. They're gonna see because William Tell's a classic story. There's some old movies and TV shows, but
the one 2024 movie.
Yeah, we're talking about the 2024 movie. If you can find it somewhere on the internet, check it out.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's a good movie.
It's it's a good movie.
Yeah, I threw that one on the list, and then I got another one on the list that
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll just
just say
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
I threw this on the list because I thought the movie was all right.
Yeah.
I think it was good that it really opened up to a second movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was, which I like for the first movie of a trilogy, which I'm assuming we're getting another trilogy.
I assume so too.
But, the movie in itself isn't the best. Like if you just watch it as a solo movie. But the reason I put it on the list and I wanted to bring it up just because I was so hyped for it.
Oh yeah, same.
I like Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah, we both really like those
movies.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I was a little disappointed about it.
Yeah. No, same. And the tough thing is I was hyping it up to my sisters, kind of getting because they never seen any of the other ones. So I was I wanted to show them this so they could be like, oh, now I'll be interested to go see the other ones. But this one was so kind of flat that they were like, I don't know if I want to watch this series.
Especially if you haven't seen the old
That's
ones.
what I mean.
Because they're all talking about Caesar and all this old stuff, and if you don't know who that is,
then you're just whatever. Which they didn't go too much into the Caesar stuff where it was just okay, I don't understand what's going on because they're mentioning the Caesar guy, but yeah, it's kind of a little thing okay, I don't know who that is or whatever. And yeah, the movie was like you said, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't bad,
yeah.
but it was okay. And then the only thing I have some other ones that I really want to watch, but I haven't got a chance to. That I know you've seen some of them, and maybe they're on your list. But Anora, Conclave, Monkey Man.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen it.
Good.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it's good.
Challengers, I know you saw.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings movie, the animated movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's still out right now, I think.
I don't. I think it had a short run in theaters actually, but
I could see that. It had some tough competition with freaking Wicked and Gladiator still out, and Moana.
Yeah,
it's tough. Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. But and Wicked, I haven't seen Wicked either.
Yeah, I just want to see that. It's funny. Every girl tells me that it's a great movie. I haven't heard a guy say it yet.
Well, because I mean, like Alexis, she saw Wicked on Broadway.
Yeah.
So she loves the story and she went to see the movie and she loved it. So,
yeah.
You know.
No, I'm sure it is good, but it's just I just realized that with every time I mention it, I always like, oh yeah, it's really good. It's always a girl though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like musicals, so I'm not. We watched Joker and we liked it, so we're in the minority for that. So I'm sure I'd like Wicked, even though it's long. I know it's long.
Yeah.
That's only been my pushback of not seeing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not super hyped about it, but I know it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. You know, it has a lot of positive reviews, so I'm interested to see it, but I'm also not like, oh, I gotta go see it. So,
No, I'm the exact same. But that's a good list. Do you have any more honorable mentions or things you want to watch?
Not for 2024. No.
Okay. I cut it because there's a lot of movies. I watched a lot of movies, a lot in theaters, but I cut it down to 5, and I didn't put Challengers, even though I thought it was a really good movie. But mine is Dune Part 2, Deadpool 3, just because to me there was a lot of hype on it, and I felt it delivered in the sense of just what it was, like a fun movie. Yeah. I wasn't expecting like this crazy story or anything. I was like, I'm excited to see Wolverine back. I'm excited to see Deadpool because I think the movies are funny, and I thought it was. We did an episode on it. For those that haven't listened to that, go back check our Deadpool episode. But I enjoyed it. I thought I was good for it. It's tough to say if it lived up to the hype because I don't think the hype was like, oh, this is gonna be an amazing movie. I was like, I feel like I know what I'm gonna get from this movie, and I feel like it delivered on.
Yeah, so it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it depends what your hype was of it.
I think I agree. I think it lived up to that because you're right. It wasn't like they marketed the shit out of it.
Yeah,
and it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So it's like it, and like you said, the movie for what it is good.
No,
it's not gonna make you think. It's not gonna make you cry. It's not gonna pull at your heart, but it's gonna make you laugh, and you're gonna have a good time.
That's a good point. That's good. That's true. Another one I had on there was The Substance. So I don't know if you even heard of that movie.
I don't think so. No.
It was at TIFF, and the first time I heard about it was that in fact it was going to be at TIFF, and it's just like a movie about. It's a very simple concept. It's marketed as a horror movie, but I feel like it's on that line of like horror and like thriller because it's not like jump scares or anything. It's kind of like more of those movies where it's like it's kind of gross. It's more so gross in the sense because it's like this old actress. She's slowly. Oh no, she's old. She's old at this point. She's not really that old, but in Hollywood, once you start getting a little bit of wrinkles, you're old.
You're ancient.
And it's like, she's like, oh, like they're realizing, oh, we're trying to move on from you. So like she gets this whole something called The Substance. It's kind of got like a Matrix vibes to it, like the movie.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they even say the word The Matrix in it, but she takes this thing and then like. It makes her younger. Like the thing, like a creature basically grows out of her and it turns into like this young person. It's freaking, what's her name? I forget the actor's name. I should have wrote it down, but it doesn't matter. It's the girl from, it doesn't matter. but the movie's, it's intense. Like it's not what I expected. Like I expected it to be like a good movie, like a good thriller, but like the way the movie is, the way it's shot, it's directed and written by this woman from France. She's has another movie called like The Revenge, which apparently people say is really good too. And it's just, I went into the movie thinking like, okay, I saw this movie at TIFF, people are liking it, let me go check it out. And it was just like, it's just like a gut punch of just like energy. It's crazy. It's wild. It's a wild movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a wild movie. And so that was one of my favorite movies. Smile 2. It was I wouldn't recommend you go see it. Yeah. I don't think you'd like this kind of movie, but it was the first movie I thought was pretty scary. Like I thought it was one of the scary movies that I've seen. This movie, and this is the only way I can explain it. It's like it was like scary as like it was in like a roller coaster. It's like you're going through like these waves of emotion of just like it's not even just like jump scares. It's like the anticipation of like what's gonna happen with this character. Like it's kind of like a little bit of like what's real, like in the sense of like Mysterio kind of thing, like where it's just like, is this really happening right now?
Yeah.
Okay, this person's safe. Like, are they safe? Is that person they're talking to
so you're
a real
always
person?
on edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
nice.
But I also feel like the story was actually good. Like Naomi Scott too. Like the person that played the main character, she was in Aladdin. She's been in Power Rangers. She's been in a couple things. She was in Lemonade Mouth. Shout out to the people that know that from Disney. It's old.
Oh, I remember
Lemonade Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's she was amazing in the movie. Honestly, like her acting, because I feel like for the most part in like horror movies, the lead girl, they're usually pretty good, but sometimes you can get off by just doing like your like. I'm trying to think how to describe it. Sometimes the way they have the lead characters, if it's like a low budget horror movie, is like it'll just be like a hot girl and then she's screaming and
damsel in distress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like she kind of, I guess, is like a damsel in distress in a little bit, but it's just the way she displays like her fear within the movie and just the way she acts. Like the acting in itself. Like if this wasn't a horror movie, I think she'd get nominated for something. But like the Oscar doesn't really like to give nods to horror movies, so I don't think she'll get anything for it. But Smile 2, I think, is really good.
Okay,
I think it's even better than the second one. And I think I watched a lot of interviews with like the I think his name is Parker Flynn is the name of the director, and like just hearing his thought process going into the movie, I could tell, and just from seeing the movie, all the thought that went into the actual story too. Because sometimes horror movies just like it's all about the scares, it's how do we get people scared. But Smile 2 had way more of an actual story about the actual like main character, and like he actually had a background in that because it's supposed to be a pop star. And he was like, I think he used to work with like pop stars, like in photography and stuff like that. So like he knew kind of like firsthand. And then he also was just like a big fan of like pop culture. So like it just, the story in itself is just really good. And then the last one's Anora.
Okay.
Yeah. Anora was good. I know you have it on your list. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I really want to see it. It sounds super interesting, and everyone that I've heard that has seen it says it's really good. So I got to check it out.
Definitely good to check out. And then for 2025, do you have any?
Yeah, I got a couple here. 2025. I mean, mostly just the big ones, honestly. And a big thing for me is trailers.
Yeah,
I need the trailers.
Yeah.
Like for because I was going through the list, and some of them, I'm just seeing the title, and I don't. Even some of them don't even have a description.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what it's about or anything about the movie. So like, I might be looking forward to it, or like I might want to see it, but I don't know yet. Yeah. So based on what I know now and, things I have seen trailers for or just name, it's mostly the big ones. Like I said, Superman.
Okay. Yeah.
That's going to be exciting. See what James Gunn can do with DC. Sinners.
Yeah.
Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
We're just talking about Black Panther in this episode, 100%. So we'll see what they do. What they do next with Sinners. That's exciting. I mean, I don't know if it's a horror, but it's like a vampire thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's like they haven't shown any like actual any of the creatures or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's on that blend. I think it's like thriller horror.
But I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it.
Same.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
We were talking about this just the other day. The Avatar movies, like the first and second, just like they look incredible. You have to see it just for that. 100%. So excited to see that. Mickey 17, our boy JB.
100%.
See what he's gonna do there.
It got pushed back, but that's okay. I'm glad. I'll gladly wait as long as it comes out.
100%.
I don't care where it comes out or when it comes out. Sorry. Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. So mostly just those big ones, and some of the smaller ones. I'll wait till I can see trailers and be like, oh, that looks interesting, or that that looks interesting. But right now, I don't know too much about a lot of the smaller ones. I'm not like in deep in the movie community.
No, I got you. I got you.
Some people know everything about everything.
Yeah, it's true. No, my list is way too long. I remember I said it the other day how many, but I cut it down. Don't worry, nice. I'm not gonna say them all. I got 5. Then I'll say the honoraries. You mentioned some of them, like Sinners, Mickey 17, Avatar. That's on my short list. But Superman, you mentioned, Wolfman. That comes out a little bit later. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, he's like a werewolf, right? I think I saw the trailer for this.
Yeah. It kind of goes into the whole universe of like what they like the Universal monsters like back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like they used to have the Invisible Man. It was Dracula. It was Frankenstein. It was the Wolfman. Like that was their MCU. No, that's really what it was. If you go back like and just look at movie history, they created their own MCU universe of these monsters, and sometimes they overlapped. It was like Wolfman versus this thing. Like they had their own. So like the whole MCU thing. It's not the first time that kind of things happened. It happened back in the 30s, but this is their new version of doing Wolfman, which I'm sure is going to look better than it probably did back then.
100%. Yeah.
The movie's probably still good. Like I'm not saying old movies can't be good, but like I could just the technology and stuff we have nowadays. The movie's probably going to look insane. And again, I'm not a big trailer guy, but the trailer for this movie looked insane. Yeah. It was just cool the way they did it because they spelled out Wolfman. Like you're seeing the trailer and Wolfman's getting spelled out by like claw marks. Yeah. So it's just like W. Yeah. Like slowly getting up and then it's finally Wolfman. And it's like, and you never see, that's my favorite thing too. You never see the wolf.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't show
it's
me
kind
that
of
in
like
the
Sinners
trailer.
too.
Yeah. You can't show me that in the trailer.
No, definitely not. Let me see it like in when I see the movie.
Yeah.
So that got me hyped. Mission Impossible. Even though there's like a little teaser trailer, but I know you just watched the first one.
I did.
I've seen all of them. I actually want to rewatch them because it's been a while since I've seen like the first ones, but I don't know if they're calling this the final reckoning. I don't know if that's just advertising. If they're actually trying to make it seem like it's the last one, I don't think it's the last one.
No,
Right?
as long as it continues to make money.
Exactly. Tom Cruise will go until he's buried in the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he'll go in his walking cane. Like they'll figure it out.
He'll be flying planes and
Yeah, exactly.
doing missions.
Ballerina.
The John Wick.
Yeah, the John Wick spinoff. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And then honorary mentions. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Saw 11.
Jesus Christ.
And Marty Supreme. Just because it's I like the Safdie brothers. Anything they do, I'm gonna watch because I like. They've only have like 2 movies, but I like them both. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna keep following them, see how they go.
That's one that like because I didn't look into like the directors, so I didn't even
realize that was the same.
Or is this the one with the Rock that you were telling me about?
No, that's the other one.
Okay,
they're each doing their own movie this year.
Okay.
But this one's with what's it called? Tyler the Creator and Timothy.
And Timmy.
Yeah. So that's why I'm interested. I'm like, you got
that
Timmy,
intrigues me.
and you got a Safdie brother. And like he's talked about how like this is like a story he's really interested into. So like you got a director that's like really into something. It's about a ping pong guy. I guess he really likes ping pong. He's really into this ping pong guy, and it's a New York guy too, and they're from New York, just like Uncut Gems and just like the other. So it's like he's tapped in. Like so I have faith in it.
Worth a watch.
It's worth a watch. So those are movies we're excited for. There's some other ones, but short lists beginning. We'll be excited as more movies as they go along. But
yeah. Like I said, as trailers come out, we're gonna be excited, and you know, like it's cool to look forward, like especially now because we have the podcast.
Yeah, no.
So like you know we'll be looking forward, like we're gonna do this one on the pod. Like all the ones that we both have on our list for sure. We're gonna do 100%. All of those on the podcast, and you know as other trailers pop out, we'll be like, oh maybe we'll do this one, maybe we'll do that one, or if you guys are saying you know we got to have an episode on this one. If you're like,
and then we'll throw it up. 100%.
Then we'll so that's exciting to look ahead.
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
Reason. And we'll be honest too. So if you give us a whack movie,
100%.
we'll bury it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
no, we're nice. We were nice to Megalopolis.
That's the bar. Bro.
That is the bar.
Like Megalopolis, we weren't too mean to that one.
Yeah, we'll never be
that
mean. We'll never be that mean because it wouldn't be fun to talk about a movie like that. We'd look for something.
Stuff,
yeah, we look for something.
Yeah.
But So let's get into Black Panther. So we're introed with a little bit of like origins of Wakanda, and we're in Oakland in 1992. So what were your thoughts on just like how the movie started?
Yeah, the flashback was it was a good way to start. You know, we get the origin. I feel like you got to start a movie, especially superhero movie, with either your villain or your main character. Yeah. And our first 2 scenes is both. of them. Mm-hmm. You know, so we start with the villain with the flashback. We see his dad get killed by his brother. Yeah. And the like.
Well, we don't see that in the initial flashback.
Oh, you're right. We don't see that.
Yeah, we don't see that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They just fly away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because I like even when I was watching this time, I was waiting for him to kill him, and I was like,
it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. I was like, oh yeah, I guess we do see that later on. And I just messed it up again.
But, no, because I understand why you think that. Because I almost let that go too. And then you kept talking. I was like, wait, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because like I saw that Ryan Coogler said that he likes starting off movies with like a question. Because like your question is like, what's gonna happen to that guy? Yeah. And you don't see any resolution. It's like, this is gonna happen to you, and then we jump forward. And then as you're watching the movie, you're like, wait, where is that guy? What happened to that guy? Right. So you're kind of sitting with that.
Yeah, because we don't even know. I mean, we know who he is, but we don't know like that he's Killmonger's dad. Yeah. We don't know that yet. No, exactly. Right. So like that whole. I mean, we find out pretty early on that Killmonger's Wakandan. And then maybe you can kind of guess where he's coming from. You know, we like because he shows that kid down in the street like playing hoops, and then he's looking up and he's looking at the apartment. So like it's not obvious, but it's pretty clear that that's gonna be someone important at least. And then when we find out Killmonger's Wakanda, we're like, okay, that's probably that kid. But like opening it up with a flashback's always cool too. You know, like throwing us back into some backstory, and then we get to see Black Panther right away. Yeah, we know it's the old suit, and we don't see the mask, so it's like a little taste. I guess.
For sure. Yeah,
a little teaser of the Black Panther.
No, it's good. And to go to your point, are you saying we get the villain, we get the hero at the beginning too, and we also get the same perspective, but like from 2 different things. Like we hear him saying that like, oh, like these people like they're over police and all this whatever, and like we should help them, but he wants to do it in a way that's like we should give them weapons or whatever. And then you got Nikita, when we see like Black Panther go find them, she thinks the same thing. It's like we got all these resources, we need to help these people. Like she never wants to be in Wakanda because she's like, I've seen how it is on the other side. Like we need to help these people. So you got anyone that's ever been outside of Wakanda realizes like, yo, we got so much resources, we should help people, but they just have different mindsets about how they should do it.
That's a good point.
And they do that right at the beginning, showing you like the person that wants to do that thing and the person that's just like, no, we got to help them, not give them weapons, but we got to help them.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is a good point. I never thought of that. You're right. The two perspectives of the same message.
Yeah.
But they're kind of showing, what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
Which honestly, in general, I don't like with movies when they're telling you like this is the right way to do it, this is the wrong way to do it. But I mean, it's a superhero movie. You're gonna have a good guy and a bad guy.
No, for sure.
Like that's normal.
And at the end of the day, it's like for kids too. So maybe you kind of do have to tell them.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
fair.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. But you're right. Like when he's saying the message right away, like in the first flashback, he's like, the streets are filled with drugs and guns and like, and they're planning a breakout. And actually, I read apparently, I don't know if you know this, and they never say it in the movie, so I don't even know if this is totally true. But I read that apparently, like the plan that Njobu and young Zuri are going over, like right at the start, is a plan to break out Killmonger's mom out of prison.
Oh, really?
Apparently, and then obviously he dies, so they don't get to they don't do it. They don't break her out. So this leads to him growing up without a mother either.
Oh, snap. Yeah, because I was thinking about that too. I didn't know. I was like, where's the mom at?
Yeah. So I read that online.
Snap.
I don't know if it's actually true. Like maybe if you zoom in on the because they're
Isn't
saying
it in
you come up
Wakandan?
with the car here. And,
Is it in English? Like the plan?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
I mean,
don't
no,
actually
that's a good. The fact that it's in there, they're clearly trying to do something. So
Yeah.
But I guess that is cool. Man, we gotta ask Ryan Coogler one day.
Because I mean,
when we
if you
interview.
think about it, like it shouldn't be them trying to like rob a bank.
Yeah, no,
they don't
exactly.
need money.
No, exactly, 100%. Well, the other dude doesn't know that. The other dude doesn't. I wonder what that's kind of like a funny thing to think about, like, because we find out right in that scene that guy was working with Wakanda the whole time, and I'm like, what did he think that guy was? Like, what was that guy's background story? Like, what is he just telling him that, like, yo, I'm just like some drug dealer or whatever,
guy. Yeah, sure,
I
why not?
guess. Yeah, no, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. It's kind of like funny to think.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. To your point, them just that's an interesting theory. I never heard that one.
Yeah.
Did you just find it on this wall? Like,
Well,
like when you were
I
doing
read it
research?
online.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I didn't even like when I was watching, I didn't notice anything. So that's what I'm saying. It could be complete BS.
Let's run with it.
Yeah,
let's run
sure.
with it. Because also I was thinking, I was like, what is Killmonger's? I don't know the lore, the complete lore of Black
me
Panther.
neither.
So I don't know if Killmonger's mom was supposed to be somebody that was also like, why was she locked up?
Wakandan or because I don't know.
know.
Is she Wakandan? Well, no,
No,
actually
she
she's not.
wasn't.
Yeah, because they said
Yeah.
he met a girl and had a kid.
Yeah, damn. What was he? Whatever. I was gonna say, like, what kind of girls he getting around with? Is she's the one in prison? Damn.
Well, I think that's the whole message, right? Is being over policed and like they're just in a situation where like there's drugs, guns, and poverty
guess that's
everywhere.
true.
Like you're just like if you're in that situation, it's likely that you get driven to the point where you have to do illegal
100%.
stuff because you're poor and there's all this shit around you, right?
No,
So it's
that's a good point. That's a good point. We get we're in London, the museum. We enter Killmonger, and what did you think of the whole like the first entrance of Killmonger? My costume.
yeah, your costume. Yeah, it's pretty dope. I mean,
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan already is looking tough. Like the way they enter with him, we just see his back.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the museum, that's already pretty tough. And then they have their whole plan. They kill the girl, the museum worker, whoever it is, steal the vibranium, and then like Claw lets the security guy go. He's like, "Hey, you." Come No, it's okay. You can go. You can go. And then shoots him in the head. And then he basically says he's like, no, I did it so that the crime scene looks more spread out and we look like amateurs. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
You just wanted to mess with that guy.
I know, 100%. I'm surprised Killmonger even questioned it. Like, why did you do that? Like, your name is Killmonger. Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
have
Why do you
dots
even
all
care?
over. Yeah, why do you care how he kills someone? it was funny though. It's messed up. But it's hilarious. I also laughed at just the fact that like It's just like the little thing of just like when he's grabbing the mask and calls like, "Is that vibranium?" He's like, "Nah, I'm just feeling it."
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough.
That was tough.
Like,
Yeah,
nah, I'm just feeling it.
Killmonger is he's dope, and Michael B. Jordan kills this
Oh
role,
yeah,
I think,
so
you know,
swaggy. Like
yeah,
he didn't like that scene alone is just like, this is such a great way to introduce a character.
100%.
It's like, am I supposed to hate this guy? This
Yeah,
guy
I know.
is so swaggy, and he comes off with points of like, you guys stole this from our ancestors. You know what I mean? He's like coming from like an actual realistic point. And it's like, oh yeah, screw them, steal your shit
That's
back.
what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Like this, like his reasoning and everything is correct.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, oh, all this stuff isn't for sale. He's like, no, I'm gonna steal it. How do you think your ancestors got it? They stole it from my ancestors.
No,
so like,
100%.
fuck you. So it's like, I mean, you know, it's in the world of museums, you know, that's a big thing going on right now. Is a lot of they're returning a lot of indigenous things back to people that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, not everything, you know,
Yeah.
like, but there's
If they can
there's a lot
find out
of
where they
there's a
got it
lot of
from.
different things that's a big part of it. Maybe in part of this movie, probably not, but
Yeah.
just in general, that whole thing going on in the world. But yeah, you're right. He's so tough, and Michael B. Jordan, I feel like he's just like he's a guy that knows he's like swaggy.
Yeah.
Well, swaggy's a good word.
Yeah.
Like he's got aura, he's got juice, and he's just like it is there on display, and he doesn't even have to act. He's just
he's
the perfect guy for this role.
Yeah, he's got an if factor.
Yeah.
And Coogler's is attached to his hip.
100. Yeah, he's juicing him dry, man. He's getting everything he can.
He will
out of this
not
guy.
make a movie without him, man. He will not make a movie without him. He probably push back Sinners because maybe Michael B. Jordan couldn't make the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
'Cause it's been a while since he made a movie. Like
What
he
is the last
stopped.
movie?
I think Black Panther 2.
Creed. 3?
No, because he
Oh.
let Michael B. Jordan direct Creed 3. So then he's just been kind of chilling for a bit. He's been writing. He writes, but
Okay. Yeah.
he just will not make a movie without Michael B.
It's his
Jordan.
boy.
But so on the other side, we get T'Challa with his coronation versus M'Baku.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the present, like how they presented the whole coronation?
Yeah,
It was pretty sick.
this scene is really cool. I think, you know, like seeing all the different tribes and
Yeah.
their different colors up on the cliff looks dope.
Yeah.
You know, they're all up on the cliff. There's the waterfall, and they're like in a couple inches of water. So when they're fighting, like it's splashing up, and it's
Yeah.
part of the fight. Like that's all really cool. And also like M'Baku, when he comes in with the Jabari, is tough as
Oh
shit.
yeah, all their masks and
Yeah, like
everything.
you don't even see them, and it just like
yeah.
and then they come in and they're tough as hell. Like you said, he's got the mask, and the way he fights, he's got the big like staff or whatever
Yeah.
you call that thing.
I
like,
think it's the staff. Yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
yeah, it's dope.
No, it is dope. It's funny now you mentioned that, like the fact that you can hear them and can't see them. It kind of makes me think of like the Bear Jew.
Yeah,
It's like that same kind of thing.
True.
It's just like,
The
oh
tap
snap.
in the back.
Yeah, exactly. He's oh snap. They're
Yeah.
coming. The Jabari tribe is
the
coming.
Jabari, the Mountain Men.
But no, I completely agree with you too. It's just I was saying that is how grounded and unique it is, just like within like the culture, and it's such like a difference, because I wrote down the movies that came out before this. I was saying that like we just saw Civil War, but the movies that came out before this were Thor 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy. So like we have like these space movies, right? And then this it's still very like high tech, but it's like a mix of like high tech, but we're also still on the ground. We're still doing things. Guys are fighting in water with their bare hands, and they're using like spears and stuff like that. But before we were just watching people doing things in space, shooting lasers. There's lasers in this, but it was just such like a huge like I think switch in just like, oh snap, like we're back on Earth, and it's like this cool mix of tech and like also feels like it's real life.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And like one thing I read was they actually had a lot of difficulty when like designing Wakanda for that reason, because they wanted it to be, you know, very rooted in Africa, and a big part of this movie is tradition, right?
Yeah.
Like the ritual combat, you know, goes back hundreds of years, and like the Shuri is the one, you know, who scoffs at tradition. She's, but so like, you know, the whole the lineage of Black Panthers, you know, when he goes into the spirit world or whatever that is, where he sees them, you know, they're talking about tradition, and they're all dressed in very traditional clothing, and like it's very important in this movie is tradition, and traditionally they don't help the outside world. Like that's a massive theme of the movie. So like, but also mixing that with, you know, this is the most advanced culture in the world, so they have to also display that. So they found that tough, actually. They said in
Interesting.
designing the city or the country to be advanced, but also grounded
at the same
like
time.
you said.
Yeah. No, I can see that because it is kind of like a tough mix because just like, all right, well, because it's like making sense of it. It's like, okay, well, if they're advanced, why would they still have this thing?
Yeah.
Why would they not just like get a better version of that? Why would they keep this thing? So you kind of have to like make those decisions. And I felt like during the movie, I was never sitting there like, okay, why do they have that thing still? Like, why are they still using spears? Why aren't they also using like guns and stuff like that?
Yeah.
But I feel like it still kind of works because they made them advanced.
Exactly.
And they all kind of did.
Yeah,
like,
because they have the spears, but they're not just
regular.
Like they're not just metal on a rock on a
Yeah,
stick, right?
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
they have the shields that come from it, and they're still made out of vibranium, and they could still do all this stuff. So like the I guess the medium of it, like the shape of it, is traditional, but it's still an advanced weapon. Because even when they're having the car chase, like she's like, guns. So primitive.
Yeah, no, exactly.
When they're sitting in the car and they're shooting them, and there's
nothing's happening.
Even Claw, he's like, the car's made of vibranium. You're not
what
going to
are you
do anything.
doing?
And they just keep shooting.
Yeah,
and
I
you're like,
know.
why are you doing this?
It's like throwing like throwing rocks at a tank, basically.
Exactly.
It's just like I don't know what you guys are doing, but hey. And even too, like another thing to add too that was like cool, like they're like just a lot of their garb, like they had like shields built in within them, so it's like they didn't have to have like these space suits that had like shields or anything. Like they still kept the same clothes, but now they just have this advanced tech, which is I guess everything just weaved in with vibranium.
Exactly.
But,
yeah, the perfect mix of, like you said, the advanced technology. Because most movies, you know, if you think of it as like the future, you know, it's just like glass skyscrapers and like there's none of this traditional stuff. So the mix that they did is actually they said it was tough, but they did a good job of it.
Oh, did a really good job. And after he wins the fight, they notice that Claw is on the radar, so they discuss and they prepare to go. And there's a lot that like happens, but like what was like your key takeaways from like as like they go to South Korea and they go after?
This was a cool scene, you know, like our first big action set piece. You know, we got the fight with M'Baku and T'Challa, which is our first taste of action, but this is like the big car chase and the fight in the casino. That was pretty cool. But I mean, like my biggest, not a beef, but like my one point I had here is like Agent Ross, right? So T'Challa pulls up on him in the casino because he sees he's there and he knows him from Civil War. Yeah. Right. So and then Agent Ross is saying he's working for the U.S. government. He's like, what I do here on behalf of the U.S. government is none of your concern. And he's just saying this out loud in an underground casino. Yeah. Like this is behind like some market, right? This woman had to let them in. So it's clearly illegal, like what this is. And then he even like talks into his wrist. Yeah. He's like, just so you know, the president of Wakanda is here. The king of Wakanda is here. So keep an eye out. And it's like, you're making it so obvious that you're like a double agent, and there's no way this is a good way to go.
That's so true. I didn't even notice that.
It was crazy.
That's such a good point. Because it's clearly this very like underground environment, and he's just saying these things so loud. Like Stan Lee's right beside him. Yeah. That's a good cameo too. I wrote that down. It's like, oh, Stan Lee, because I knew he had a cameo in this, but I forgot what it was. Yeah, and that was just it's awesome. It's always fun seeing Stan.
Yeah, it's so great every time it just makes me smile.
Yeah, because you always forget. Like I don't go into every movie thing like I can't wait for the Stan Lee cameo, and then it happens. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
it is.
It's so good.
It's awesome, but no, that is hilarious. I did not even think about that. And like another scene I really like too, like it was even before getting to the to get South Korea, is like him just picking the suit. Yeah, like picking it was so cool seeing that tech, and it's showing you, because I actually remember watching the first time I ever saw Black Panther was in a cartoon called The Ultimate Avengers. I don't know if you've ever seen that cartoon. It's old. It's like from 2006. So. Okay. Our dad bought it for us for Christmas or whatever. And the movie actually starts with Black Panther. And it's so weird because the opening shot is like that, like a plane going into Wakanda, and it looks identical to a shot we see in this. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they got it from that movie. But it's interesting to see the Black Panther in those, because it wasn't as high tech. And it's just like, I guess this is supposed to be like as it keeps going in more, because he didn't have a suit that just like dissolved onto him, you know what I mean? It was just like he put it on. Yeah. And like his face actually turned into a panther too, which they don't really do in this, which is like, it's fine, you know. It makes more sense in a cartoon than actually in real. Right. I think it just looked goofy, but no, I just like that scene of him just like picking the necklace. Kind of made me think of The Flash, how like he had like that thing he slapped and then his whole suit came on. I just thought that was dope.
It is a good scene. It's kind of like one of those like a spy movie.
Yeah.
You know, when he's getting fitted at the start of the movie when they're showing them all the little gadgets. Like if you click this
like
pen twice,
thing.
it'll exactly. So like, because she's like, okay, these are your communication devices, and this is your thing that you can throw on a car, and then I can use it, and then it comes back. Like all this stuff he ends up using, right? And the thing where he kicks the suit and it absorbs the energy, and then he can release it back out, and then. But they also weave in. They do their MCU thing where they weave in a bunch of humor here.
Yeah,
like he's like, what are those?
Yeah,
I was like, wow, that's so 2018.
I was thinking that too.
I was like, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, so did I. That's what happens when you pick a joke that's like from a time.
Yeah,
it's not even like you're just making a joke. Like you're taking a specific meme and putting it in a movie. I'm like, oh, that's dated. But
yeah, that's that. It
only the people from the time would remember.
Exactly. It doesn't lend watch to a rewatch.
No, it doesn't.
But still, like they lend in some humor, and then there was even a Back to the Future shout out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So when he puts on the automated boots, and he's like, "Oh, it's from that movie Baba used to watch."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, yeah."
Which makes it's cool, like to make it grounded. Like again, it's like it's in real life. Like this is real life. I don't know if they've ever done. They probably did that in other Marvel movies, but like this is. I just recently watched this.
Yeah.
Like mention movies.
Yeah.
In
they
the
definitely
movie,
do.
Probably.
Well, if you think of in Infinity War, when Spider-Man, he's like, "Oh, have you ever seen that old movie where they where he wraps up the thing's legs, like talking about Star Wars?"
Oh, yeah.
Or have you ever seen that movie when they blow the hole in the spaceship and then it sucks the guy out?
Oh, it's about Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Spider-Man, he's making all these references
movie
to the
references.
movies. Yeah.
And yeah, he's the only one that watches movies.
Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
like,
because Iron Man even makes that joke. He's like, yeah, he's you may be better, but the kid's seen more movies. I can't remember exactly what the line is.
Yeah, but something like that. But no, that's good. The last thing too I want to mention. Well, no, this doesn't have to be the last thing, but it was another cool part in the our boy Ludwig. Ludwig.
Yeah.
There's that part where he's back at it again, bro. It's like when they, that choo 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 choo.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
hard.
like that's him. Yo, he's back at work, bro.
Hell yeah.
It's like right when they start getting into the fight, that music starts coming back on. I was like, oh shit, this just gives me hype.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
Yeah. Well, he won an Oscar for the soundtrack in this movie.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Did he get it for Tenet?
No.
Okay. Well, at least he got something. This is actually pretty close to Tenet.
Actually, no,
Tenet was a couple years later.
Tenet was 2020.
20 years later.
So 2 years.
All right, so Luffy got his shine. But is there anything else you had from
the car chase? Yeah, I think this was our first time really. Well, we saw Black Panther pretty much a car chase in Civil War. Mm-hmm. You know, so we saw kind of like the way he was moving as a cat, like he's jumping around, like running on walls and shit. Like it's super dope.
Yeah.
But then doing it in like South Korea.
Yeah.
So like, there's like bright lights of the city, and again, he's running on buildings and he's like bouncing around, riding on the car when he jumps down and like scratches the ground to turn the car. Like just they kind of like incorporate the movements to make it kind of cat-like.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was actually really cool. The way he moved as a character was really cool.
No, I agree. And I like how there's another thing I'll mention too, just like the strong woman characters in this movie. And it's not like one of those things where like Marvel hasn't had strong characters. Like Black Widow's a strong character, like Gamora's a strong character.
Pepper.
Not as strong as Gamora. And
No, but like
just in general.
Still, she's not like a
damsel in distress. Yeah, no, for sure. That was why I think the scene like in Endgame was so corny, because it was just like they weren't like, we didn't need that because they've already been strong throughout the movies. Yeah. So it's like, but especially in this movie, there's a lot of emphasis on strong women characters, and I think there's just one of the lines that was said is like when T'Challa gets knocked down. And they're going after them, and like, oh, should we wait for him? And she, I can't remember who says it.
Okoye.
It was Okoye, and she's like, he'll catch up.
Yeah.
And that's such a hard thing to say, because it's just like, if they were like those ones that depended on him, they're like, oh yeah, let's wait for it again. Let's make sure he's good, dust him off. Okay, now lead us. They're like, we got this.
Yeah.
If he catches up, cool, but we can do this on our own. Like it's just a hard line to me.
Yeah, and you're right. It's not like we're here to assist him.
Yeah.
We're all part of the team.
Yeah.
Right. We're all equal. I mean, obviously they're not superheroes.
Yeah.
But like they're totally strong.
They're
on their
trained
own.
fighters.
And there's actually a cool thing that I read that Debbie Berman, so one of the editors on the project, she pointed out to Coogler that I mean, I'm jumping ahead, but we're talking about the strong women thing. That in the final fight, when the Dora Milaje, so that's the group, like the army, I guess. Yeah. The all female army. They kind of get rescued by the all male Jabari tribe, right? They're fighting the border tribe, and then they get boxed in, and then the Jabaris pull up. So she had pointed that out, saying that like that's you're kind of going back on everything that you've built in this movie of all these strong women, and Coogler agreed that it kind of undermined the established strength of the female characters. So he added female Jabari fighters to the scene in post, like in reshoots. Okay. Yeah. So like the first Jabari that kills someone is a woman. I don't know if you remember it, but like M'Baku pulls up and he yells, and then it cuts to a Jabari woman like stabbing down on a guy.
Yeah, that's sick. I didn't notice that little touch, but and that is a good point that she mentioned that, and they made that change, because that's true. It does undermine it, where it's like, oh, I thought they were like the strongest warriors. Like,
and then they're getting sunned by the border patrol, by the border tribe. Like that doesn't make any sense.
I guess the only reason it made sense, at least with that, because they had numbers. There was way more of them, so it's just like numbers is always gonna. Right. At the end of the day, it's like the people that say like, could you fight 100? You ever heard that stupid thing?
Toddler.
Yeah. Could you fight 100 of them? And it's just like,
I could totally fight 100 toddlers, bro.
I don't know, man. I get it depends how hard you want to go, because I feel like part of you be like, man, these are toddlers, I want to hurt them.
Yeah, but if it's like a life or death situation,
I guess so.
Like if they're coming at me 100%,
I'm
smoking 100 toddlers.
I haven't heard the mindset of like, all you gotta do is mess up one toddler and the rest of them would be scared, because they'd be like, because at the end of the day they're toddlers. They'd be like, damn, you see what you just did to that dude?
I assume the whole point of the question is that like these are like crazed toddlers, and like they're coming after you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like if you let up, they will kill you.
That's true. I don't even know where this came from, this initial question. It's so ridiculous. But anyway, they Claw's in custody now. He's spilling the beans on Wakanda to Ross before before the save from Killmonger. Sorry, before the save from Killmonger. Did you like Claw just as in general? I mean, he's a matchup obviously to Killmonger, but like his place within the movie.
Yeah, for sure. I think his place is really important, and I love Andy Serkis. He's great. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's done, he's basically Killmonger's way in. Yeah. Right. Like Killmonger is seen as an outsider, even though he's Wakandan. Claw even says it, he's like, they'll still just see you as an outsider. I mean, he didn't know he's Wakandan at the time. But still, like they're all like, they call him an outsider when he comes in, because he doesn't live there. Yeah. So he needs Claw, and he's getting revenge for the Wakandans because of what he did. So like this is all part of his plan, and Claw. But it's a good twist when that happens, right? Yeah. Like when we get the reveal that Killmonger's Wakandan and he kills Claw, he even shoots his girl. Yeah, doesn't even think twice.
Doesn't care.
Shoots his girl. That was pretty ruthless. But like it's a good twist. Yeah, it's a good twist that we have pretty early on in the movie. And Claw, because Claw like early, we're like, okay, this is like a big bad guy. Yeah, and then he gets taken out by Killmonger just like that. But I like his role in the movie.
Yeah, same. And I agreed. It is a good twist, because I would have thought that they were just gonna be working together and it's gonna be like a team effort kind of thing, like a team up of villains. So I didn't expect that. The part of me was just like, it was more so on this viewing. I didn't really think about it, but the fact that like they said that Claw's been evading them for like 30 years, to me I was like, wow, now I want a little bit know more about that. You know what I mean? Like that for 30 years this guy was like eluding them, and Killmonger got him just like that. He's old now, so I'll give him that. Maybe it was a lot harder to get him back in the day, but
I think it's more like Claw was just like off the radar.
Yeah, I guess.
Like off the grid. Like kind of hiding because like there's no way he can fight them one-on-one. I mean, he does have that arm cannon.
Yeah. But and in his defense, by the time Killmonger kills him, he doesn't have it anymore.
Exactly.
He's just a guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I think, but also like if that was the case, how did he steal all this vibranium? Yeah, they never show that.
No, that's true. That's what I'm saying. I wanted a little bit. Not like it ruined it for me, but in this moment I was thinking, I was like, huh, yeah, they killed that dude. He's for 30 years he's been a pain in their ass. And I kind of want to know. Yeah. Give me a little what if or something, dude. Like
that's actually a really good point. Now that I think of it, because he mentioned he's like, I'm the only outsider that's ever stepped foot in there, and live to talk about it.
Yeah.
And he blew up a section of like the border, and he stole all his vibranium.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's just a dude. How the hell did he do that?
Yeah, that's why I was like, in that moment when he died, I was like, huh, I kind of wanted to know more about Claw. Now I'm like, I'm sure I can go find in a comic book. I'll find a YouTube video or something. I don't even know if he's actually real or not. Maybe they just made. Well, I guess Marvel doesn't really do that. They don't make up
he's
characters.
not real.
No, I mean like within the actual Black Panther lore. I don't know if they just made up a villain.
He is. I feel like he is.
Yeah, probably.
But I really don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is a good point. Yeah, I never thought of it, but like he kind of gets taken out a little. You're right. He doesn't have. But if you think about it, like when he went to Wakanda for the first time, he wouldn't have had the arm cannon.
That's true.
So he was able to pull off this heist
like years ago. I'm saying maybe he's old now. He's kind of washed.
Thing? Yeah, true.
He has all these goons.
Celtic Shack.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. His SoundCloud was about to blow up too, apparently.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, he was. I mean, pretty much every character had a little bit of humor.
Yeah,
but him and Shuri was like they're just
just going at it. Yeah, just going at it. There's one thing too I wanted to mention too. I thought was just like another hard line too. When Ross was talking to why did I forget her name?
Okoye?
Okoye, yeah. It was Okoye. No, was it Okoye?
Well, or Nakia?
No, it's Okoye. Yeah, it is Okoye. Nakia's the other one.
Okoye is the general.
Yeah, Okoye is the general. And you're saying when Ross was like, "Does she speak English?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, when I want to."
Yeah.
Yeah, when she wants to. I was like, "Oh, that's hard."
See, another she's a tough character.
Yeah,
100%.
no, it was great.
But it's like, but you're right in Endgame, that scene where I can't remember who it is, but has the gauntlet. And it's like, don't worry, she's not alone. And then all the girls pull up, like the corny scene that you're talking about. Like that's like it's obvious what they're doing. And it's like forced. There's no reason to do that.
Forced.
But this is like Okoye's a tough character, and if she was a dude, that wouldn't change anything.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
it's not because she's a woman that it's like, oh, look how powerful and strong she is. It's like, nah, she's powerful and strong as hell, and she's a woman.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's not forced.
Bruh, hey, now I'm thinking about that stupid ass scene in Endgame, bro. Bro, literally, Captain Marvel or Wanda could have done the shit by themselves.
100%. What is Black Widow doing that Captain Marvel can't do?
What I'm saying. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I thought another thing I thought was kind of cool too, and just because we watched Tenet, I made like the connection of just when Killmonger saves Claw and takes him out, and he sees a little hanging ring. It made me think of like when the protagonist sees the ribbon. Like on Neil.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a little quick. Yeah, it's like a little quick thing of like identification. Just like, oh wait. And then he got the same thing with the ring. I was like, oh shit, because we just watched the movies back to back. So I was like, oh, it's a cool little thing. So I just noticed that little.
I always wonder though, like, if you're in like a high action moment, right? You're trying to catch this guy. He shoots this cannon at you or whatever that knocks T'Challa back, and you're gonna notice a tiny little ring dangling from his neck.
I don't know.
There's no way, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. No, it's so true.
But he pulls up with a dope mask. That's when he pulls the mask down. That he was just saying he was feeling.
No, it came in handy.
So I might be getting an idea of what your fic check is.
Oh, maybe. Maybe a little tease. So after this though, because Ross has his hero moment where he takes a bullet to the spine, and they bring him back. And to Wakanda, and T'Challa finds out the truth, which had me questioning, because we talked about it earlier. We talked about how like he got Killmonger's pops got killed. Najabu was his, and my thought was like, did he need to kill him? You know what I mean?
I have this written down too.
Yeah, like he hit his gun away and then immediately claws to the chest. It's like, why?
Yeah, he 100%. He didn't need to do that, and not only that, but. Zuri says this because this is what T'Challa asks him, right? He's like you killed someone and he had a son. Like what's the story? And he's like no, I promised the king I wouldn't say. He's like, I'm your king now.
Yeah,
that was pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, but what he says, no, why did you leave the kid? Basically, T'Challa says, and he said we left him to maintain the lie, but why? What lie?
Yeah, I know.
Like the lie that T'Chaka didn't kill his brother?
Yeah.
If that's the lie, first of all, Killmonger was down on the ground playing ball.
Yeah.
He didn't see that happen.
Yeah.
All you have to do is say, like Black Panther, T'Chaka, you leave. Zuri's there, says, oh, someone broke in, and like, what? Why do you have to leave him there? You know, like, well, what? Just tell him there was a break-in. Bring him to Wakanda and say, this is actually where you're from. Your father was this man, and like, that's the lie you should be telling.
100%. I'm with you. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, why did he kill him? I don't understand.
He did not have. You're in a vibranium suit.
Yeah.
And he pointed the gun at Zuri.
Yeah.
But as soon as he knocks the gun away, problem solved.
Yeah.
You don't need. It's done.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what
That's
to tell you.
This is the faults of T'Chaka, man.
I guess so.
The whole movie is T'Challa fixing the faults of his dad.
That's 100%.
And that is one of his mistakes.
100%. Then we after this we get Killmonger, who enters Wakanda with the Dead Claw. He reveals himself and challenges T'Challa. Sorry. And what did you think of like the Killmonger in Wakanda and then like the fight?
Yeah, this is it's a dope scene.
Yeah,
it's a dope scene when he comes in. Like Michael B. Jordan comes in and he just owns the room.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like when he's coming in, he's like, ask me what my name is.
Yeah,
go ahead, go ahead, ask me what my name is. It's so tough.
Yeah.
And he's like, and T'Challa's like, nah, get him out of here, And then the one guy's, well, who are you? And then he goes right into it. He goes right into it. It says it in Wakandan. I'm Prince in Jobu, or son of Prince in Jobu, and blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh, he has the ring and he can fight for the throne, and like it's just it all comes together so nicely, and then we're realizing, oh, this was his plan the whole time.
Yeah.
And then we get to the fight, and it's so good.
And it's that little line to where he's just like, hey auntie,
yeah, it's so good,
so hard. I'm just like, oh damn. This dude, man. I'm like, this is the bad guy. This is the bad guy. Why he's got so much swag.
I know. We just saw Black Panther kill his dad when he didn't have to. We see T'Challa get full. He loses to Claw.
Yeah.
They have Claw, and then Michael B. Jordan comes and takes him from him. So we're like, this guy's better than T'Challa already. He didn't have a vibranium suit.
No.
He comes in. He's the one that gets Claw when T'Challa couldn't. And now he's coming into his palace, spitting bars to his mom and the whole council. Like, come on, bro. T'Challa's getting sunned right now.
He is getting sunned. And the classic line, "Is this your king?" I was just like,
yes,
oh,
bro.
Man,
my God, it's so tough.
hard.
Yeah, I have a even just before that when they're getting ready for the fight, and he's taking his clothes off, like his armor or whatever, like his shirt and stuff, and he's like, man, I killed in Iran, Afghanistan. I took life from my own brothers and sisters right here on this continent. All this death just so I could kill you.
Yeah, that's hard.
Oh my God. And he's got like 1,000 of the bumps on his body, and we're like, all these is a kill. And we had Ross hyping him up a few minutes ago, saying like, this guy's tough. Like he would go in solo, take down governments, do all this shit. We're like, this motherfucker.
Insane, bro. Insane. And like, I knew who Killmonger was because again, he was in the comics books and stuff like that, but like their depiction of him is so, like, no, I shouldn't say so much doper than the comics, but like the little bumps and then just Michael B. Jordan putting the swag on. I'm like, he wasn't that swaggy in the comics, but like, I'm not gonna complain when you make a character more swaggy.
Exactly.
I'm just like, oh shit, okay.
This guy's, and then he's whooping T'Challa's ass. Is this your kid?
Yeah, that's wild.
Is this your? Oh my God! Everyone, I remember after the movie came out, I was saying that all the time.
Yeah, no, that was another thing too. That was just like everyone was saying, "Is that your king?
Is this your king?"
And it's like, now that I've seen Gladiator, that's like some Gladiator shit. That's like some screaming shit like that. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. Man.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, exactly. That's the same level.
Yeah,
I mean, some people might think that's blasphemous for me to say that, but I think it's up there. The movie's pretty fresh still compared to Gladiator.
But you're the Gladiator hater.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a Gladiator hater. It's better than Gladiator. No. Oh. No, I'm just playing. It also gave me season 3 mid-season finale of Arrow vibes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Fucking throwing them over. Anyone that's it. I mean, it's been a long time, but I'm also one of those guys that I'm not going to ruin something just because it's old. Go watch Arrow season 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna promote.
After season 3, you could stop.
Yeah, you can
stop.
But
season 1, 2, 3 is insane. I was watching a lot of TV back in those days.
Yeah.
I don't have time for TV anymore. But like, yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I remember that, like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, I was watching this on my laptop.
I think I know this story, but I want to hear it again.
Exactly.
Tell me it again because
I'm watching on my laptop. I'm sitting alone in my basement. I remember this like it was yesterday. I'm watching. The thing happened. I'm not going to spoil what happened. The thing happened at the end of the episode. My jaw dropped, and I didn't like. didn't close my mouth until the credits were done rolling, bro. I'm not even capping.
I believe you because I felt the
insane.
same way. I was like, they're really, it's insane. Go watch Arrow.
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say. But no, that whole Killmonger entering Wakanda, it was like a whole thing. I haven't like that little. There was like a subtle. Well, it's not subtle, but it's like this cool little thing. Like once he's actually in power, and he's doing all the things. Coogler does like that shot where it spins.
Yeah,
like that's such a dope shot.
And like the music is bang. Is Kendrick Lamar like in the back because he did the soundtrack for this, right? Well, the curated soundtrack. Yeah. Ludwig did the like,
and it's dope because Killmonger's supposed to be from Oakland too.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like LA guy, you got Kendrick playing over.
He comes in and he's sitting on the throne as it's spinning is so fucking sick. But like, there's another shot actually too. Since we're talking about, because it's very similar, I have them in the same note because it's right back to back. The
camera
turning as he comes into the throne and sits down is fucking sick. But right before this, when he's in the garden with the heart-shaped herb, and then he tells them to burn it all, right? And it's actually, this shot is the shot right before we get the turn.
Okay.
It goes from this right into the turn.
You're right.
When it's Killmonger's back, and the whole place is burning.
Yeah, that looks hard.
It's tough as hell.
That's
and
dope.
then it turns to him upside down. It's and the music's going. It's so sick.
Dope. And I didn't ask you from like the first time, but what were your thoughts of like their portrayal of like the afterlife and like the scene when he's talking with his dad?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool the way like because they bury him, right? So he drinks the potion
elixir or whatever, and then gets covered in sand.
He gets covered in sand, and then the way he comes into the other one, he comes out of the ground.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then they're all panthers chilling on the tree, and then there's just like the purple hue around, and we see all of them. I thought it looked cool. Yeah, and then it's a good scene, like because we see it twice. Yeah, right. The first time he's not sad, but he's like I'm sorry I couldn't protect you, Dad, and I'm not ready to be king, and like, but like this is his arc, right? So this is where he's starting out. He's just idolizing his dad, and everything he did was perfect and traditional, and he's like, I'm so I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I don't think I can fill your shoes, and so like that part of his character, is done really well in this scene. And then when we see it the second time, and then he learns the faults of his dad, and he's like, no, you were wrong. All of you were wrong, and by keeping us all hidden here and not helping us out the world, like the way his character grows and the two differences in the same setting, or like in the not afterlife, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it afterlife? I
guess? No, because he's not dead.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's the
whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Ethereal space or whatever, but like the two same spots, but like one where he's idolizing his pops. The next one where he's like, no, all you were wrong is so sick. No,
I 100% agree. And what did you think of the scene with Killmonger and his dad?
That was a good one too. I thought it was cool the way that like it's the same thing, right? He's in this ethereal space, but it's not in the plains of Africa, because that's not where he grew up.
Exactly, it's in Oakland.
Yeah, it's in Oakland, back in the apartment. And he's talking to his dad, and we see him like because he's been tough as shit this whole movie. We've been talking about it, right?
Yeah,
how
exactly.
fucking cool he
100%.
is. And he's crying in this scene, and like the emotion is so good. And Michael B. Jordan's just killing this.
Yeah, and we get that little transition of him as a kid and then back into an adult. So we kind of get to see that it's like, oh, this is just a hurt little kid. Yeah, they show it. And then one thing I thought was, even though I thought it was touching, I thought it was a funny little thing. It's like a slight thing where his dad is just like, no tears for me, and then he's like, everybody dies here. Like, and I was like, okay, but then he cries. Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, well, he's got tears for you. there you go.
He was acting all tough a second ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, but another way that they just like make the message so grounded and real, because like everybody dies here. Like it's so tough in the street, 100%. In the area that we came from. Like this is why he's doing what he's doing, right? Yeah, because like just the situation that's there is like. It's true. People die all the time, not by Black Panther, but...
No, 100%. It's unfortunate, too. And there's something my dad mentioned, because he was watching with me, and it's a little small thing that I didn't notice, is the Public Enemy poster that they had in the apartment. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, not saying that, like, Public Enemy will turn you into a radical killer or anything, but he's just like considering that this character that this is, he's like, it makes sense that he'd be listening, he'd be a big Public Enemy fan, because they were so, like... they had a lot of political messages in their music, and they're very, like... they talked a lot about like just racism in America and stuff. So like just the way Killmonger and his dad are, like we need to take action like that kind of. So it makes sense that they'd be Public Enemy fans. So I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
And Ryan Coogler, he grew up in that. Like they actually shot in the area
that he grew up
in. And like he's from that area. So like a lot of that stuff, like just to make it real, like your pop said, like that's. I don't know if they had additional consultants or if he was just like, this is what it was like. You know?
No, for sure.
I'm gonna throw this stuff in.
He's a little bit younger though, so I wonder.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he's still. I mean, you could live in Compton now. I'm still have a rough life, but just the Public. I don't know if he listened to Public Enemy just because he's younger. Probably more so Tupac maybe, but
I do want to jump back to one scene. It's a really small scene. It's
okay.
It's after Killmonger throws T'Challa off the cliff.
Yeah.
Right, and then. So Nakia and the queen and the princess Shuri, they run away, right? So they're like, it's not safe for you, so they go and hide. And then Nakia comes back into the palace and meets with Okoye.
Yeah,
that little small scene. I think it's an important one though, because like it shows the differences of those two characters. Because Nakia comes back and she's like, okay, come with us. The queen is safe and Shuri is safe, and Okoye is happy about that. She's like, are they safe? Yes, that's good. Okay. Thank you. And then Nakia's like, okay, now let's go. Let's go meet up with them. And Okoye is like, leave? I can't leave.
Yeah.
I'm the general of Wakanda. I'm loyal to this throne. And Nakia's like, we need to overthrow this man. She's like, overthrow? I'm not a spy I have it written down. I'm not a spy who can come and go as they please. I am loyal to that throne no matter who sits upon it.
Yeah.
So like it's just the two. Like they're both, the loyal to T'Challa, and they both want what's best for Wakanda, and they're saying that like I want what's best for Wakanda, and Nakia's like, Okoye's like, this is how I defend Wakanda, is I'm loyal to Wakanda, that throne, and it's a bad way, I guess, the way this guy got it, but he's of royal blood. He beat T'Challa in ritual combat, like it's legit the way he got onto the throne. Like he wants to do fucked up shit with the power,
but he got it fairly.
But he got it fair and square.
Yeah.
And Okoye or Nakia is like, nah, I can't do that. I won't protect my country. I'm gonna save it by doing this. So I thought it was a cool scene just to show the two differences in their characters.
Yeah, no, it is an important scene because it definitely gives you that contrast, like we were talking about. Like even I was talking about earlier, when I was comparing her to Killmonger's dad, and like they both have like that similar way of like we need to do more. And they have the same loyalty, Wakanda, but it's just in different ways. And that is an important scene to mention. I'm glad you brought it up. It's true. And just to go with because at the end of the day, Killmonger gives his orders now. Yeah. His new orders he wants to arm the oppressed worldwide to fight, which is it's kind of wild, but because it's just like. And it shows you that difference of like, hey, they're saying let's help people, let's give them things, but you just want to give people weapons, just to fight everybody. You're probably gonna lose more if people of those oppressed people are just in the battle versus like just trying to help them. I mean, it's a longer process, but
this is kind of like the same conflict that you have with the Malcolm X and MLK,
100%,
or like Magneto and the Professor X.
No, 100%.
It's the same kind of thing. They're both fighting for their own people, but in two different ways.
Yeah.
And like Killmonger's vision is like, he even says he's like the whole world's gonna restart, and this time we're on top.
Yeah.
Because we've been oppressed the whole time, and that's what I mean. Like the message is right. You know, you want to help the oppressed, but his way of doing it is by killing everyone in power and taking their spot, and that's not right. Right. So like that's why like he's too extreme, but. I mean, you can't hate the message that he's trying to help out the oppressed, right?
No, 100%. But while this is all happening, that's when we get Nikita and Shuri and Ramonda, like T'Challa's mom, and they're going off.
Her name?
Yeah, that's what I know. And I know I had to look it up because she's not in it too much. But I was
never really say her name. I feel,
and I felt wrong just saying T'Challa's mom. I was like, let me just actually say her real name. But
Angela Bassett.
Yeah, Angela Bassett. Yeah, they go after the Jabari tribe for help, and they find T'Challa and then bring him back to health, and with that special herb. And this is leading into like the battle, and when we're like, it's kind of like all the final parts of the movie. So I just wanted to kind of wrap that into things so we can just be open and talk about just how the movie ends. So what were your thoughts on like just the final sequences of the movie? final moments.
I liked when we go into the Jabari tribe.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that that we get to see it.
Yeah.
You know, we see him sitting up in his chair, and it's like the gorilla holding it up. Like that looks fucking sick. First of all, and then M'Baku, you know, he's kind of funny. And this is when he's barking at Agent Ross and you can't speak. And, you know, like, and then they save T'Challa, which is cool. And then, but we talked about earlier how the fight like is kind of underwhelming. But I, you know, once we get the one-on-one of them on the train, and he's like, oh, turn it on, so we deactivate the suits. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, it's funny. Like as I realized, we talked a lot about the ending basically, but all we didn't really talk about was the Jabari tribe, which is fine. It's like we can bounce around. But no, I'm with you on that. Like it's the fight isn't terrible, but it is. It's like it's one of those things where it was kind of built up, and maybe it could have been better. Yeah. Again, I think the good thing about this movie, just as a whole, like it wasn't one of those movies, because this movie was something leading to something. You know what I mean? Like all the movies within the MCU are leading to the Avenger movies, so they easily could have just kind of like just made this a very like straightforward movie in the sense of like not having as much depth in like maybe like Killmonger and those other ones. They could have just been like, here's your big bad, defeat him, and then let's have our little ending scene, so it'll tie you into the movie where you're actually going to help out the overall story that we care more about. But they actually like, this movie exists in itself and is just good as itself. It doesn't even, you don't have to even think about other Avengers. No other Avengers really come in. Like Ross kind of works in without you really knowing like, wait, do I have to watch another movie to understand who this guy is? Like this movie exists and works within itself, and that's why it's in itself. I think is just a great movie.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like the movie starts with T'Chaka killed, right?
Yeah,
but like if you hadn't seen Civil War and you didn't see him die, that's fine. Yeah, you know, you see it on the news. They're like, oh, the king died, and you're like, okay, the king died a week ago, and now this is the story of T'Challa, you know, becoming the new king. You don't need to see all the other stuff. Yeah. And Killmonger's his own character. Agent Ross, you're right. It's just a CIA agent. Yeah. You don't need any backstory. Mm-hmm. The whole thing like wraps up into itself. Like we meet and kill Killmonger in the same movie. So like it all wraps up totally fine. You're right. Yeah. You don't need to see like basically Black Panther in Civil War is basically just to be like, a tease. Yeah. Be like, holy shit, coming. Black Panther's going to we're going to get a Black Panther movie. And this is the movie. And it works out totally on its own. And that's why I think it's one of the best on the MCU, because you could watch it on its own. And a ton of people did, I'm sure. Yeah, no, 100%. I think you're right. I remember actually a lot of people not really into the MCU. Because I think people didn't realize like from the outside how much of this stuff was connecting. They probably like just all a bunch. If you're not into it, you're just thinking there's, because they're always making superhero movies. Yeah, there's all these superhero movies coming out. You don't think that they're combined until maybe like Civil War came out, when people see the poster like, wait, damn, all these people in that movie. Yeah. Then it started realizing like this is like an actual thing. Avengers, probably Avengers.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But then maybe you're not like, if I'm talking about like, I guess if you're on the outside. But yeah, I guess at that point there's already been 2 Avenger movies. So yeah, scratch that. One thing I thought was funny though, also like you talked about how they were barking at Ross, saying he's like, when he made that joke, he's like, speak again and I'll feed you to my children. Yeah. And he's like, I'm just kidding, we're vegetarian. But I thought that line was also funny too, because I'm like, are they really vegetarian though? Because all they're around is ice. Like, what are they growing?
Actually, now that I think about it, the way that they find T'Challa, he's like, one of the fishermen brought it on a boat.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Maybe he just means he's like his family's vegetarian. Yeah. Not the whole.
Well, I guess they
tribe.
Could be pescatarian, only eat fish.
No, but he didn't say pescatarian.
Yeah, that's true. Vegetarian. That's true. That's 100%.
I think it's maybe just his family.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Well, another thing I want to say from the fight too is W'Kabi, like Daniel Kaluuya's character.
Yeah.
I see he's kind of got the same feelings as his wife. Like, I'm loyal to the throne, but like, you fight your own wife. That's not where the line draws.
Yeah, I mean, he only stopped because she said she was gonna whoop his ass, basically.
But just in the sense of like, I'm fighting against my wife in this battle. That did not sway him at all until that moment. I thought that was wild.
I kind of don't love his character. I think like, you know, I get it. He's like, his parents got killed by the claw thing, so like the robbery.
Yeah.
When he blew up that whole thing. So I get it. He's like, I want revenge for Claw, and this guy provided the revenge. So like, I'm gonna follow him now because T'Challa didn't. But like, bro, we saw what happened, right?
Yeah.
T'Challa had him. This guy broke him out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like T'Challa was just like, oh, you know, fuck Claw, he's fine,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I had him,
Yeah.
and he got broken out. Like, I tried to get him. It's not like he wasn't doing anything, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like and then he was just totally blindly loyal. He's like, no, you're right. Let's send all the weapons.
Yeah.
Take over the world. And like, he flipped a little too fast for me.
I agree. And it's funny that you mentioned that too, because my dad mentioned it. It made me laugh when we were watching it too, because it was that scene where he's like, "Where's Claw?" He's like, "Oh, he got away," and then he was all angry. My dad was like, "Yo, dog, you weren't there. You don't know what went down.
Exactly.
Like, you're acting like you just knew I just gave him up.
Yeah.
Like, a lot went down. There was a whole thing that happened in South Korea that you don't know about. It wasn't just we just let him go.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. I think he flipped a little too quick for me.
Away. No questions asked. He didn't
No.
even ask what happened.
He saw Claw dead, and he's like, "You're my new king."
Yeah, exactly. Like,
That's it.
oh my goodness, man. But what were your thoughts on the death of Killmonger? What are your opinions? I know some people had mixed opinions. Like, should they have killed him? Do you think it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I mean, it works in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he even said it. He's like, I'm not gonna like all the like when T'Challa comes back, right? He's like, the challenge isn't over. I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, true.
You know, I'm here. I didn't yield, and I'm here.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, that shit's over with. Go ahead, like continue with the mission. Send the weapons out. Like he's not gonna stop. He said that. He's like, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
So what else are they supposed to do? So I mean, it makes sense with his character that they have to kill him off.
Yeah.
And when he's dying, like he gets the sunset in Wakanda
Yeah.
that his dad said he had to see.
No, true.
So that was cool. I mean, for one part, they were just down on the train tracks and he got stabbed. I don't know how the hell they got all the way up
Yeah,
there, but
yeah.
they're two superhumans. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm
That's fair.
gonna let it go. You know,
Yeah.
they did some shit. But then he even gets his cool bar because he could have survived, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like T'Challa's like, we can maybe heal you. He's like, nah, like, you know, he makes the slave parallel. He's like, no, I'd rather die than just be in jail.
Yeah. No.
Pulls the sword out and just
It just
falls over. I thought I liked it.
Yeah. I think my thing is that I think story-wise, yeah, it makes sense why he died, and it's like he's not going to stop that kind of thing. But to me, just from, again, my Black Panther lore is limited. It's not as extent as like the Spider-Man or like Batman, stuff like that. But I've watched a couple of things with Black Panther in it. And from my understanding, at least from seeing them, Killmonger's like the Joker. So to me, it's like, you don't kill the Joker. You know what I mean? I was like, you find a way to get him, like, you let him escape or something, or like he's wounded or whatever. You know what I mean? So that was a little bit of like, I was bummed. I was like, damn, you killed like that's his biggest villain.
Right.
So it's just like, that's why part of me was like, going forward, I'm like, now what? Like, you're going to get the B villain to go along with
Namor.
them? That's what I'm saying. Like, and Namor's a pretty big one, but he's not Killmonger. Killmonger is that was my one thing where I was just like, like, you're going to kill the Joker, basically.
I feel you, but at the same time, like Black Panther's not on Batman's level.
No, it's not.
And Killmonger's not on Joker's level.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like they're equivalent to each other.
Yeah.
But it's not the same level.
No,
so
it's
like
true.
you can't kill Joker because we have to have him back.
No,
but also
100%.
like there's so many different iterations of the character that you can kill him. Or I feel like it's just
I know what you mean.
so
Yeah.
they're on such a higher level that like it matters so much more. And I think because this is a movie within the MCU.
Yeah, it's not just a Black Panther.
Yeah,
thing.
it's not
you wouldn't
just
have
like
done
that. So like he continues in the story. He's in Infinity War, and you know,
Yeah.
he has a second movie. But you know, like I just feel like there's this story wrapped, and it's within the MCU, so it's not like.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't even know how to explain it any more than that. But.
No, it's not like Batman. When Batman comes around, his movies are trilogies. They're separate. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And same thing when Superman and Spider-Man, like they get their own thing. They don't even have to be attached to anything.
Yeah,
You're
Black Panther's not getting his own thing.
No,
This
he's
is-
not getting his
it's
own
the
thing.
MCU.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that
a
was
good way
just
to
that
put
was just initial thought. That was just my initial feeling when it happened. But yeah,
enough.
that's. Do you have any other thoughts before if you're how get into facts? Any other facts or anything you want to mention?
I do have a couple facts.
Okay, yeah, go.
Apparently, so the opening scene, the opening flashback, right?
Yeah.
So we see T'Chaka in the suit with no helmet on, right?
Yeah.
And apparently, test audiences were confusing him with T'Challa. Mm-hmm. Like they thought it was the same person.
Yeah.
dressed as a Black Panther, so they digitally added some gray to his beard and a little bit of gold trimmings to his suit.
Yeah.
And but I just found it funny because it was like every of the Black people all look the same. Like they're two totally different people.
Yeah, I know.
But test audiences were like, that's the same guy. Like, what the fuck, guys?
In their defense, though, those two actors do look. They did a good job of like that. Does look like someone's dad.
Yeah.
But I knew that wasn't the same.
I
like
know,
that does not
right?
look like Chadwick Boseman.
That's
like,
what I'm
not at all.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And they're like, but test audiences were like, this is the same guy.
Yeah,
What's going on here?
exactly.
Like, I thought this was a flashback. Fuck you, man. Come on.
Wait, is that Killmonger or is that T'Challa? I don't know.
Is that a Koye? How
Yeah.
did she get in a Black Panther suit?
God, bro, that brings me back to, this isn't a fact, but I just remember the wildness with Black Panther in China. Do you remember all that shit?
No.
All the press that was coming out of it. You didn't hear about any of the press.
That actually sounds vaguely familiar. What?
It was just like wild. I'm not putting this all on China, okay? Because I know there was some people that were like saying that, oh, I love this movie. I could give this movie a 20 out of 10. I would. Like, I know there was a lot of good press, but obviously the negative press like rises to the top. And to me, it was more so funny. It's messed up some of the comments, but in the sense of like, man, the movie is like, I didn't expect the movie to be so like dark, like all these black characters.
Oh
It was
my
black.
God.
It was just so, it was like hard to watch. The movie was just so black, so dark. And I'm just like, it just made me laugh because I'm like, oh, that's so wild. For you to say this in an interview, you're so oblivious that you don't realize that what you're saying is so wrong.
Yeah, I know. But like, what the hell did you expect? Like, this is a black hero in Africa. What did you expect?
I don't know. That's why it was so funny to me. The movie's called Black Panther.
Yeah. Whatever.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, there was a lot of that. It was like, I like the movie's good, but it's just so black. I'm just like, all right,
Obviously.
so movie in Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Karate Kid. There's all sorts of Asian people. What the hell?
I don't know, but I just had to mention that because the test screening thing made me remember that. But you got anything? You got anything else?
Yeah, I got one more. This is funny. So Martin Freeman, who plays Agent Ross,
Yeah.
and Andy Serkis, who plays Claw,
Yeah.
were apparently called the Tolkien white guys. So you know the Tolkien white guys?
Tolkien, yeah.
But they called them the Tolkien white guys because they were both in the Hobbit movies together.
Oh my god.
So
that's hilarious.
So it's like, one, they were the only two like white dudes on set. So
Yeah.
like, but they just, that funny like connection in the wordplay, it just made me laugh.
That's hilarious. I didn't. That's great. I didn't hear that.
Tolkien white guys.
I think I slipped into all my facts within the movie, but the one thing I saw, this is a Black Panther facts, not even just to do with the movie, but
Okay.
Apparently when the Black Panther was first like introduced, like the comic book, people thought that was actually had reference to do with the actual Black Panthers, like the movement group, and Stanley kept saying like it is not connecting to that. It was just, that's just a coincidence. So they actually changed the name of the Black Panthers to Black Leopard for a little bit.
Oh shit.
And then they realized that wasn't hitting the same, so they
Sounds
changed
stupid.
it right back.
Yeah. Well, because I did read that, because early on, Wesley Snipes tried to make a Black Panther movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was leading a whole process, and they actually got like pretty decent like into it. He was writing a script, and he was
before Blade, I guess.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
I believe it was. I believe it was before Blade. Yeah, he wanted to make a Black Panther movie, and but one of the biggest problems that they ran into was apparently like the script writers were confusing it, with the Black Panther group, and they were like tying that into the story, and they're like, bro,
it's not that.
that's not what this is. Like, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
Leave it out of the story.
Yeah,
But apparently that kept coming up.
I mean, Killmonger could have been a Black Panther.
Hell yeah,
like an actual Black Panther.
Yeah, true.
So it almost does kind of tie. That's why Stan Lee is probably shaking his head. I'm like, this is not what it was, but whatever. Yeah.
So I guess this character was made before the Black Panther group, I guess.
The actual comic book. Talking about?
I mean, just the character was.
Oh, it's the character itself. I can't remember
Stan Lee
what
made
issue
him.
it was that it came out in. I think it was before the actual group. And then just or maybe I think it was around the same time. So
maybe it was around the same time.
It was around the same time.
A little murky.
Well, yeah, because he was saying this was around the civil rights movement, and he decided we need to make a superhero that's black.
Hell yeah, Stan.
Yeah, I know.
Lee.
I know. I thought that was kind of hype too, and I saw people saying guys that are still alive saying this. Yeah, Stan was very adamant about it. He's like, we got to do something. We got to make a black superhero. We got to do something. Let's make him rich. Let's make him intelligent. All the things that people don't think, or they have these negative stereotypes about black people. Let's make them a boss. Let's make him one of the strongest too.
Hell yeah.
He took on the whole, like his first appearance is in the Fantastic Four. I don't know why he was fighting the Fantastic Four, but apparently he took them all on and beat them all.
R.I.P. Stan Lee, man. R.I.P. Stan Lee.
And R.I.P. Chadwick too.
Yeah,
we didn't mention that, but R.I.P. to both of them.
Because he was awesome in this movie, and he's also like I won't say like off the court.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what that term would be in movies, like
off the
screen,
set, I guess.
off
Off the screen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in real life,
Yeah.
he's a really smart guy and like really well spoken and all this stuff. So like I feel like he was perfect to play this role. And I didn't know that about Stan Lee though, but that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it is really dope.
This guy gave us so much.
Oh yeah. He lived all the way till now. I'm glad he got to see Endgame too. I remember I saw that.
True.
He got to the last thing he got to see.
And I'm glad he's not seeing what's coming out now.
That's so true. Last thing he got to see was Endgame. Well, for all
Is that actually the last?
That's the last thing he got to see. Yeah, it was Endgame.
Wow. Wow. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean,
What were you gonna say?
It was a little fucked up. I was gonna say he went at the perfect time.
Oh,
like,
okay,
I mean, we all have to go eventually, right? So
he was 98. He had a long life.
He had a good run, and like I said, he gave us so much, and I didn't know he did it like for this reason.
Yeah, like it was during the Civil Rights
sick.
movement, and he was like, "Yo, we got to do something." Yeah,
That's sick.
and it's one thing too. I was like, was he just saying that? But there's other people saying that, like, no, it was him.
That's dope.
Like it was he wanted to push that forward.
Dope.
To let's do this.
Hell yeah.
So that's dope. Shout out Stanley.
Shout out Stanley.
Shout out Stanley. So with that being said, I got no more facts. So
Run it up.
let's get into the filmies.
All right, so so welcome to the Filmies. If this is your first episode, this is our award show that we do at the end of every episode. We have 6 meaningless awards that we like to have fun with, and we're gonna jump right into it with our fit check. So this is our best or worst fit of the movie. This one is loaded with
fits.
crazy fits.
I think it won
It did
Oscar for
costume design.
Costume design,
You're right,
yeah.
it did. So I'm excited to hear what was yours.
So my fit check, I gave it to Nikita in Busan when they were in South Korea.
Okay.
She's wearing this black like open shoulder dress. The main reason I gave it to it was one. I'll give the reason afterwards. The second reason. The first reason is because when I did a little more research on it and seeing like the detail that they put into it, like they 3D printed that dress.
Oh shit.
And it's a black dress and it has a bunch of like green squares on it.
Yeah.
And within the green squares, they put Wakandan text in it.
Oh, damn.
So I thought that was really dope. And she's got like the matching sleeve with it. It's kind of got like the collar. So that's the dress she was wearing when they were in like that little casino.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was dope. And then I saw the background on the dress and I was like, I saw a little YouTube clip. I was like, oh, there's a lot of work went into it. I'm like, that's dope. And there was a little attention to detail that Ryan Coogler mentioned that he specifically had her wearing the green dress. T'Challa is always wearing black. He's the Black Panther, but he's wearing black. And then Okoye, I think that's how you say her name, was wearing red. And it's supposed to be like the Pan-African flag. Like that's how they were dressed.
The black, red, and
yeah,
okay, cool.
And then they had freaking Claw wearing blue because apparently that's the color of a colonizers. I didn't know that.
Is that
it's a colonizer color blue apparently?
How is that? Why
I
is
don't
that
know.
a thing?
Scott's got a blue.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna change mics real quick.
No, I don't know why. I literally searched. I was like, I didn't know blue. I was like, what is the color of colonizers? And then blue came up. I'm like, okay. I don't know if that's like a flag. I don't know if like when you're colonizing you have to put up the blue flag or something.
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't know. How would you know?
Like,
you weren't there.
No. Maybe it's like water because they came across the ocean.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah, they had a little color theory thing going on.
Yeah, I didn't know that about like the 3D printing. That's cool. 2, like the text within all the squares. That's cool. I didn't know that. Obviously the dress looked dope. Like I said, there's just so many fits. They all look really cool.
Yeah.
And like throughout the car chase, I guess she has it too. And like right at the end when the car blows up and she's
she's still
she's sitting in the seat with the steering.
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, we didn't mention that though.
But yeah, it was funny. I guess she probably had the fit on at that point too.
She did.
All right.
But what about
fit.
you?
My fit check. I gave it to. It's really really small. It's a tiny piece. So I gave it to the warrior from the mining tribe of the first challenge day. So remember they come to the first challenge day and Zuri strips his power, the strength of the black power.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it the king will now have the strength of the Black Panther stripped away. That was Anyways, so he does that, and then they're like, does anybody challenge for the throne?
Yeah.
And then they all say, we will not challenge today. We will not challenge today. So the mining tribe, the warrior that they have that doesn't challenge that day. But I gave him my fit check. He got like a red robe on, like nothing crazy about the robe, but he's got this like headdress, and it goes like around his face, and it's red, and it's got brown feathers all around it, and it's like, so it goes around his face, and his face is like a hole in the middle of it.
Okay, damn.
And it's sick.
Okay, I don't remember this.
Sick. It's super short, like I said. He's on the screen for the 3 seconds while the leader of the tribe says the mining tribe will not challenge today.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
I mean, you gave me the scene, so I'm definitely gonna go check it out because I don't remember it. But from what you're describing, that sounds pretty fire.
It's super sick.
Yeah, that
like
sounds
the headdress. It's like a mask with a hole in the middle cut out for his face.
I'm definitely checking that out after.
All right, we're going to move to our Lazy Award, so our Ferris Bueller Award. So this is something that a character did or someone behind the scenes, Coogler actor, somebody did that was lazy.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
So we talked about it earlier, and I want to give it to T'Chaka.
Okay.
T'Challa's dad.
Yeah.
For leaving the body of Najobu and leaving the sun.
Yeah.
It's like we talked about it in detail, but it's just like one, the laziness of like the first one of just leaving the body, because Killmonger mentioned it too. I found my dad with claw marks in his chest.
Yeah.
That's fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Like very unique killing style.
Yeah.
And you left it right there. It's like Captain America if he killed someone and he left his shield like there or something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I wonder who did this.
But at the same time, how the hell did he know it was Black Panther?
Yeah, because he didn't know that existed, right? Yeah, that's true. I guess, I wonder how he even found out. Well, all the information, all the books that his dad had, like all those things that he flipped through.
True. And he told him about Wakanda.
Yeah. So, yeah, to me, that's just, that was just hella lazy.
You're right. We talked about it. Why did they do that?
Yeah, and why not bring Killmonger? You just created a villain.
Exactly.
You created a whole origin story.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Bring him with you. You could lie to him.
Yeah.
Say your dad died for, whatever reason. Or even if he's a child, you say like he stole from us. And at least
you'd have to kill us.
Yeah,
he did.
You'd have more. Yeah, true. He had his gun to Zuri. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that was just lazy. He just did the kill and he was like,
let's go.
It will work. I think it will work out. I think everything's gonna work out.
Yeah. What's his son gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Come back in 20 years and
and try to kill
my son and take over the Wakanda?
Nah. Come on.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness. But no, that I had to give him a lazy award for that.
Yeah. No, it's a good pick, and that might have been mine.
Okay.
But I found something, and it's maybe a bit of a stretch, but I think it's funny.
I love that.
So it's my lazy word anyways.
Okay.
So I give it to the leader of the River Tribe. So it's the dude that has the big thing in his bottom lip. So when Killmonger challenges for the throne, so he comes into the palace.
Yeah.
And he challenges for the throne, right? And and he says the challenge will take weeks to prepare. And he says, "Oh, I don't need weeks. I just need him."
Yeah.
Which was dope.
Yeah.
But at the start of the movie, because I went back when I heard that, I was like, weeks to prepare. Okay. I noted that down.
Yeah.
I went back. So at the start of the movie, when T'Challa's watching the news talking about T'Chaka just dying, right?
Yeah.
So the news, the lady's like, "Oh, the king of Wakanda died, blah, 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 a week ago."
Mm-hmm.
So a week ago, he died. And then the next day, because he's on that mission to get Nakia, because the challenge day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for T'Challa, they set up the challenge in a week plus a day. For Killmonger, it'll take weeks to prepare. This motherfucker just be lazy. He doesn't want to set all that shit up.
That's true.
They can do it in a week.
No, that's so true. I didn't even catch that. That's not even a stretch. That's something very minuscule that you found that most people probably did not even realize.
It's just a tiny throwaway line. It doesn't mean anything. He's like, it'll take weeks to prepare. So that's why when they go to the challenge, there's like 10 people there, right? But like, that's bullshit. He's just being lazy.
Yeah, it's just to get the people. He wants the ambiance.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It's like it's gonna take forever to get all these people, bro.
I mean, he's like, man, I gotta make a few calls.
Yeah,
I gotta get this guy to come. I gotta get this guy. They gotta shut down the waterfall and do all this. It's like, you did it last time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just because you did it a few days ago. You don't want to do it again. He's just being lazy.
That's good. That's good.
I had to go fact check out because I heard that. I was like, is there a way that I can check if this is bullshit or not? And then I was like, oh, the newscast. Like, maybe I can see when
How
it, and
long?
she says it.
Yeah.
It was a week ago.
Oh my god.
So it's in the same movie, you bitch. It was a week ago, you lazy ass motherfucker.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Man.
I like that.
So yeah, he's my Ferris Bueller award.
That might be one of my own favorite.
Oh wow.
Ferris's. Yeah, it's just so minuscule. It's not in your face. Most times it's just like, okay.
True. Yeah,
but
like,
that
what are
one
you doing, bro?
That
Yeah.
one you had to go back and listen to a news report. Makes it so much better. That's
Oh,
great.
man.
That's good.
Okay, so next up we got our Nas Reed award.
Okay.
This is our 6-man award.
Yeah.
So this is anybody that's not a starting player basically on the roster. So anyone that's not one of our main characters that showed out in their role, came off the bench and did some work, and we're gonna show them some love. So who gets your Nas Reed 6-man award?
All right, so mine goes to Siri, like
Okay.
T'Challa's sister.
Yep.
And part of me was thinking, I was like, is she a 6-man? She's in
Yeah,
a
hell yeah,
decent
she's a
amount.
6-man.
Yeah, she's not a main. Yeah, I guess she's not a main character.
I feel like you couldn't get Killmonger, T'Challa. Honestly, like we make the rules up. It doesn't
Yeah,
fucking
that's
matter.
true, yeah.
We always say that.
Yeah,
I
I know.
Are they 6? Who the hell cares?
No, it's just fun, just like putting it out there. It's like, is this okay? But it was just like she was a fun dynamic, and she's one of those things where she's one of the only few characters that can actually like talk to the king the way however she wants because it's the sister. So everyone has to be like all royal and respectful. She's always just like giving him the finger and whatever, roasting him. We talk about what are those, like all that shit. And she's had a bunch of funny lines in there too. Just like there was another thing in here that I remember stuck for a little bit too when she calls freaking Ross a colonizer.
Yeah.
And I remember that stuck for a little bit. Everyone just kept calling white people colonizers for a bit, like on social media and shit. Like people like just like angry in the comments. They'd be like, "Yo, shut up, colonizer." Yeah. I'm just like, damn.
And Martin Freeman's so good. He's just like,
yeah,
like he just kind of looks at her like, damn, and he doesn't say anything because he's like, what is he gonna say?
What do you say?
Yeah, exactly. What is he gonna say?
And I thought, and another funny line, she had a couple funny lines. Another one too, when she's just like, when they bring Ross in, and she's like, great, another broken white boy for us to fix. Like,
because they just had Bucky.
Yeah, I know. That's a nice little tie too, which
Yeah.
again, I guess, if you don't know, then you'd be like, I don't know what they're referring to. What do you mean again? Yeah, you'd be like, they do this often, but that's just a little funny thing too. And also just like when she gets T'Challa, like, with him doing the kinetic thing, she's like, "Oh, kick it again," and he's like, "Why you got the camera out?" Just for research purposes.
Yeah. So good.
Immediately, he's like, "Delete the footage."
Yeah.
I thought that was great, and again, I just thought she was just like a fun dynamic, and she's very likable, and I like the way her character is like really smart. And like she's a strong character. Again, she's not. There's a moment when Killmonger almost like kills her, but she's not damsel in distress and like where it's like, oh no, like the whole time she's like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. She was fighting, and he's got the upper hand.
Yeah. Well,
but
he's an enhanced.
That's what I'm
Black
saying.
Panther. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I just like how even she was strong too. It's like she's not like the classic like, oh, I'm the tech person and I couldn't even lift a pencil. You know what I mean? Like she can also like go.
She can
too.
throw hands.
Yeah, she can go.
Yeah.
So I want to give her some love because I like that character.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick, and you're totally right. She's mostly there just being funny.
Yeah.
But she is also the classic like tech person and
Felicity, if you will.
Felicity
She's a
Smoke.
Felicity,
The guy in the chair.
Yeah,
the girl in the chair.
Yeah, exactly. Who is your 6-man?
My 6-man is M'Baku.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I mean, he had some funny moments too.
Yeah.
He was in and out. The first challenge was dope.
Yeah.
Like I said, his entrance was hard as hell. Came in with that mask, and then when they're fighting, it was a good fight. Like he didn't get smoked.
No.
Like he fought. Like
Yeah,
T'Challa even says, he said, you fought with honor. Like he got some damage in. He stabbed him in the shoulder. So like, he was good. And then, but he also saved him. A guy that he was like, no, fuck this guy. I'm trying to get the throne. But he's found him, saved him. He's funny when they come to see him up on the throne. Like we talk about the jokes when he was barking and all that shit. And then the Jabari, they come to save the day.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So he because he even said, he's like, I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah.
He's like, I could use an army. He's like, no, I'm not gonna help you. But they end up coming to save the day.
And he wasn't even wrong in saying that too.
Yeah.
The Wakandans, they're fucking on their high hill. They weren't helping nobody, not even them. So I was like, why am I gonna help you now? You've been helping us for years.
Exactly.
Now you're down bad. You think I'm just gonna come crawling to you? So he was right in saying no at first, but at the same time, you're like, okay, guy, come on, like, Killmonger's gonna come for you next. He made that point that probably had him steaming. Like, you're probably right.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was great.
No, he was great.
He was my sixth man.
It's a great pick.
Next up, we got our best quote.
So my quote goes to Killmonger, and it's a quote that we. It's the final quote. This is basically right before he dies, where he's like, it's like when he says, "Oh, we can still save you," and he says, "Why? So you can lock me up? Nah, just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from the ships, because they knew that death was better than bondage."
It's a great quote.
Dope. Yeah,
that's why I said I like the way that he died. Like he didn't go out sorry.
No, exactly.
He went out like he chose to do that.
Yeah,
and he has a great line to end it, and like it's consistent with his character.
Yeah,
right. His whole thing is like, I'm trying to help my people.
Yeah,
and then he goes out referencing his people.
Yeah,
saying like they went across and it is true. Like, would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I mean, he's choosing death, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, but I mean, like in the slavery sense.
Yeah,
like if you were
in
like,
the sense.
if you go this way, you're going to be a slave. If not, die.
No,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, it's a tough choice to make.
Yeah.
You can understand it.
No, I definitely do understand. And he almost ended sorry, because before he said that line, he was talking about like he was crying and saying, "Yo, my dad always said he'd show me the Wakanda sunset." Like, you imagine this little kid from Oakland chasing fairy tales. I'm like, he's gonna end like that, crying like this? I mean, that's crazy. And then they brought him up, and then he had that line. I'm like, okay, because if he ended on that, I'm like, damn, bro, like he switched up so quick.
True, because we've been talking about the whole episode how tough he's been.
Yeah,
been a badass the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. But no, in retrospect, though, if you think about it, though, I don't think him being a prisoner in Wakanda is equal to a slave.
No.
Yeah,
not.
So him saying like "bury me with my," I'm like, it's not the same thing, dog. I get your reference.
Yeah,
but you're not gonna go through the same thing. They're not gonna think. You're not gonna be a slave. You're just gonna be a prisoner.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll probably feed you. They'll probably they'll probably just try to change you.
Yeah, I feel like they'd probably try and like teach you better ways, and I don't know.
Yeah, but he wasn't having none of that. He's like, I'd rather die.
Yeah,
I don't want to think like you.
But that's tough.
No, it is tough.
That's tough. And I mean, even when T'Challa gets him, right? Like, because they activate the train so their suits don't work.
Yeah.
And then he throws up the sword and he stabs him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Good move."
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Damn,
yeah,
bro, got me."
Yeah.
Right as he knows he's about to die, he's like, "Damn, nice one."
He went with honor. He's give me the honor. Give me the honorful death.
Yeah.
Give me the soldier death.
Yeah. I like it.
That was dope.
My best quote I gave to T'Challa.
Okay.
When he comes back to the fight, basically when he shoots down the plane or whatever, and then he comes up, and Chadwick Boseman comes up and he's walking with his arms wide. And he's like, "I never yielded, and as you can see, I am not dead."
Yeah, that's hard.
That was tough.
Yeah, that is tough. That's a tough last
like
line.
the whole because Shuri says, or not Shuri, Zuri says it in the first challenge. He's like, the only way to end this ritual combat is by yield or by death. So he comes back around. He's like, "I didn't do neither of those things.
Exactly.
So what's up?"
Yeah, that's true. That's hard.
That was tough.
No, that was tough. That's a good quote. I like that one.
It was clean, simple, but
Yeah.
I had to pick it. Okay, we got our best scene next. Self-explanatory. What was your best scene?
So my best scene was it's the South Korean in the streets, like in Busan.
Yeah.
It just gives me like Fast and Furious, like car chase vibes,
Yeah.
very much so. And like again, we've talked about that movie a couple times on here. I don't like all the movies, but like I do like the car chase scenes, and it's just like the intense like nature of it. And I thought there was a funny back and forth between like T'Challa and Suri. And this is like the little funny moment that I forgot about is like, because she's driving like the car like back in Wakanda, she doesn't actually see what she's seeing, and she runs over the dude, and she's like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it, you're doing great." But I think she knows. That was a human. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And I also thought the Okoye, when she threw the threw the spear through the car, and then it stopped it and brought it. That was hard.
That was sick.
That was hard.
It's a great car chase, dude.
It really is.
Because I mean, you're right. Like Fast and Furious. Yeah, we talk about because those movies are great.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they get a lot of hate, especially the new ones because they're ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that franchise is great for a reason, right? Like, and the action is a big part of that. And car chase, who doesn't love a great car chase?
100%.
And then you add a freaking super soldier cat into it. Are you kidding me? This is dope.
Yeah, I know, it's wild. And like you talked about it too early with like the scenery of it too.
Yeah,
it's just
sick.
the lights around it all too. It looks so good. I was gonna say it's like Tokyo Drift, but we have mixed feelings on Tokyo Drift. But it just looks so cool, and the funny back and forth, and then just the badass nature of just the Black Panther, and then he uses the kinetic energy for the first time too. It's sick. It's sick. We get the funny little moment we talked about too.
Yeah. It's got it all.
Yeah, no, that's one. It's my favorite scene. When I think of Black Panther, I think of the coronation fights, and then I think of the street racing. Those are like the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the movie. But what about you? What's your best scene?
Mine, I mean, we talked about it, is the when Killmonger enters the palace.
Okay, yeah.
He comes in with that shot of him, or actually that's something different. That's when he's already in power.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he comes in, Michael B. Jordan, he's great.
Yeah.
Like he comes in tough as hell, saying, ask me what my name is. Go ahead. And the hey auntie, like it's all so good in that scene. And then right after this, we get the challenge. Where he's whooping his ass, and we were talking about the quotes and saying, "Oh, is this your king?"
Yeah.
Like it's just like the whole movie just like ratchets up at this point. Like we're building up Killmonger, and he's got Claw, and then he comes in and he just whoops T'Challa in one, physical combat, and two, in like the political sense too, right? He's coming in, he's like, nah, I am your cousin. I'm in my right to challenge for this throne, and there's nothing you could say about it.
Yeah.
If you're going back on tradition, that's on you as a king, but like this is legit. I'm here.
No, 100%.
And it's just everything just ratchets up at that point. I love that scene.
Yeah. No, it's a really great scene. And then we talked about it in detail too, of just saying like just his swagger that he comes in with. It's just it's one of those, he's like, this is the bad guy? I'm supposed to hate this guy?
This guy's dope as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, am I supposed to like this guy? All right. But it's a really great scene. I agree.
Awesome. Last but definitely not least, we got our MVP, most valuable player of the movie. Who gets it for you?
So I'm giving it to Ryan Coogler. And it's honorary mention to Joe Robert Cole, because he was also a writer on the movie. Because I'm giving it to Coogler like for the writing, but he wasn't the only writer, so I don't want to say like he's the only one.
But he directed it too, so
yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm kind of giving it to him. But it's just I'm sure most directors probably do this, like if they're gonna make a movie like in a specific area in the world, of like, because he visited Africa for the first time too. That was his first time ever going to Africa, and he was just absorbing in like all the traditional aspects and all the culture, and just he was sending back pictures to saying like, hey, like can we do this? Like, what do you guys think of this? Like, do you think we can make this kind of, like, he just really ingrained himself into that African culture and tried to make it as legit, because we talked about how they were like going back and forth to like, okay, we want to have like the traditional stuff, but we also kind of want to still add in the tech stuff. So I just thought it was cool. I didn't know that he did that, went over there and was just like going through all the stuff. And we've talked about it throughout the whole movie, just the writing of Killmonger. Because my big thing too is like, and we talked about how like I was upset that they killed Killmonger, because I was saying that's like their Joker. But also it's, this movie, even though it's good within itself, is just a leap pad for him to be into the like Infinity War, and like for him to be in the saga, like the whole saga. And I feel like this movie easily could have been very didn't have as much depth. Like they could have done a lot less with Killmonger and stuff. They didn't have to give him much as a backstory, because they knew they're killing him anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, this movie is just so we can show you who Black Panther is. He's just going to beat this guy so he can go fight Thanos. But they didn't do that. Like, they easily could have, like, if you look at some of the other MC movies, a lot of them are sequels where big bads will come in, get destroyed, and then you never see them again. Yeah. Versus, like, I was almost looking at Killmonger. I was like, oh, is Killmonger going to be like a Loki, where he's always going to be around? That's why I was disappointed. Okay. I was like, they kept Loki. Loki's a big character. Right. But it's like, okay, they kept that dude, so are they going to keep Killmonger? They didn't. But I like how still, even though they didn't keep him around, they still gave him a good background story.
Yeah. I feel like Killmonger, like Loki, you can keep around because he's also like he does good things too. Like he's kind of a good and bad. He's mostly bad, obviously,
Yeah.
but like he's also, you know, he pertains to the whole Infinity Saga, right? Like he has an Infinity Stone. He works with Thanos and Avengers, so like he's more connected.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Killmonger is just in this movie. Like this movie works in and of itself because of that. I think in part, like, right, you don't have to see anything else from the MCU to know why Killmonger's here, what he's doing, why he's doing it. Yeah. And you know, we see his start, middle, and finish in this movie. And I feel like also like his motivation is not taking over the whole world. So like if you keep him going, like would it still just be him fighting for black people? Like, you know, I mean, I'm sure they could come up with some stuff that they would work him in with, and he is a great character. So like, but it's an interesting thought. Like if they did keep him, what they would do with him.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily think he's gonna join Thanos' forces.
No, exactly. He's not.
Like,
yeah,
but I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like Loki is that grand of a character, just in the sense of like space and all that shit. Yeah, that he can join Thanos. Like that doesn't really make sense for.
Yeah, Killmonger probably would have been like, "Yo, how about you just snap the white people and then we just, and then we're good. Yeah, and then we're good.
Then I'll fight for you.
Yeah, then I'll
help you. Yeah, that's true.
All the vibranium you want. You know that frail gauntlet? I can make that a vibranium, bro.
Ooh, a vibranium.
Yeah,
Infinity Gauntlet.
I don't know, bro.
That'd be fucking sick.
but that's why I give it to Ryan Coogler, just because for all those reasons. But what about you?
It's a great pick, Ryan Coogler. He wrote, directed, and it's his like vision. And I know they didn't hire, like, he's black. Yeah. And, you know, they said they wanted to, you know, hire mostly black people to work on it, but they also said, like, we're going to hire the best people for the job. You know, it turned out that they, you know, were able to hire Coogler, and he was awesome in this because this movie is incredible. But I'm glad that they did go with, you know, an almost all black cast. I mean, I feel like that's obvious. Like, you kind of have to do that. But even behind the scenes, like almost everybody in the crew is black, which is great, just providing those opportunities for everyone. And Ryan Coogler is part of the hiring process of all that. So another added bonus for him.
And then also, I think it makes it, because obviously the actors will give you that too, because there's a lot of actual Africans that are in the movie, that you get more of the actual, like, I don't think that's, like, these are made up characters, but just in the sense of, like, if we're going to try to do the traditional thing, some people could give some feedback. Well, like, hey, I'm from this place in Africa. Maybe we could do this. This is something that we do. It's like, oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. Versus like if you don't have as many voices, that maybe those things don't get heard. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. But what about you? Who's your MVP?
Yeah, my MVP. I thought about giving it to Coogler, but I didn't. That's fine. I gave it to Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, you know, I think we talk about how great he is in this movie. I love his character. I think. One of the best things about this movie is Killmonger, for sure, and he's a big reason why. Like he's, you know, you talk about, he's just so tough. We are rooting for this guy because he's so swagged out, and his motivations are honorable, even though he goes about it the wrong way. He's charming, you know, when he's talking to his girl in Claw, and, you know, right early on before he flips on him, you know, and when he's talking to the girl in the museum, like, he's just so, you want to root for this guy because he's so charming and so, but he's emotional. Like when he has that flashback with his dad, you know, he gets a good moment there. He's not just like a tough asshole. Yeah. Is this your king? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, no, that's hard.
Like, come on, 100%. Bro. And he's yoked out for the role. Like physically, he looks sick. It's just, I think the best part of this movie is his character, and he's a huge reason for it. So I had to give him my MVP.
Honestly, it's a great pick, and he was almost my MVP too. And then I was looking at all my awards. I'm like, I need to get. I don't want to be on Killmonger's meat. Let me take him off some of these things. I had him as my MVP. I had him on my quote. I gave him the best fit too, and I was like, all right, no, that's too.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I gave him the museum fit.
No, you didn't give him your fit.
No, I switched it though. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I switched the fit. I'm like, hey, I'm too much on his meat. And then I was like, do I want to give him MVP too? I'm like, that's too much. I'm like, who else can I give it to? And I even still talked about him when I was talking about Coogler. So I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah, because Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler are conjoined twins.
Yeah, no, that's true. No.
Well, I'm excited for Sinners, bro. See what he does in that.
100%.
In that role. I mean, I don't know exactly what the role is. Like, is he the main character? I don't even know.
He is the main character. He is? Okay. Yeah. And he's a twin. He's playing two characters. Yeah. Oh, shit. Which is kind of funny. I don't know how they shot it. I guess We'll see. I'll see how it is.
Yeah, we'll see how it is. I'm excited for that.
Haley
though.
Steinfeld's in there too.
See that collab. But Michael, I mean, now that I'm looking at my awards, I gave him my best scene. You know, when he enters the palace. But other than that, I didn't give him anything.
Nah, that's all good.
So
I'm
not too bad. I'm not too hard.
I had him on 3 things, so I was like,
Yeah,
that's
so-
too much. I had to switch back. I'm like, who else can I give this stuff to? Forget that, yo. That's too much. I showed him some love through talking about the movie, but
Yeah.
But do you have anything else you want to? Last thoughts?
No, it's good for me.
That's it. All right. Well, that being said, thanks for listening. If you're tuning in to this convo, make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at The Film Room Pod. If you're a listener and you're not watching us on YouTube, you can follow us on Apple and Spotify. If you've liked it, we'd appreciate it if you give us a review. 5 stars only.
Please do.
5
Please
stars.
do.
Yeah, I mean, I always say if you liked the one, but honestly, like, yeah, I understand you're probably not gonna give a review if you just liked one episode. I feel like if you've listened to like 3 episodes of us, I feel like you're part of this community now. You're part of the film family.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel. Let us know which one was your favorite. You know what I mean? Like, just we love all the feedback with Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You want to message us, reply to one of our stories, leave a comment.
Yeah.
We love connecting with people.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times, like when you listen to podcasts or watch YouTube videos or whatever, you know, at the end of they always say, like, subscribe, comment, and they're trying to like farm the engagement for their like socials and stuff like that. And like, honestly, I'm speaking for myself. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like farming engagement.
No,
like
for sure.
when we say like comment to us or like review all this stuff, like obviously, yes, it does help us grow. I'm not gonna lie saying it doesn't.
No, 100%.
But like honestly, I think it's so cool that we're building a community for all of us to talk movies and not just talk with us. You know, you talk amongst yourselves. Like obviously we're starting and we're growing, but you know, that's the goal, is to get to this point where we're all just talking to each other about cool movies that we're watching.
No, 100%. And as we keep going, we keep growing. Like even when Jordan was on our last week, he's saying like, "Oh, now I feel like I watch movies differently."
Yeah.
And I feel like as we keep watching, we start watching them differently, not in a bad way. Where it's not like you're watching it from a critical eye. Where it's like, "Oh, I can't watch movies the same." It's like you appreciate it more. It's the little things. He's talking about like, "Oh, I appreciated the like the scores now and stuff like that," and just these little things. Just like it just builds more.
Yeah, because when I watch movies not for the podcast, like, and I'm not sitting there with a notebook and I'm writing stuff down, but I'm still like sometimes if there is stuff that jumps out at me, I'm like, that was lazy as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like that fit goes hard as shit.
No,
like
100%.
it's still, it changes the way I watch movies, but it's not like an exhausting thing where you're like, I have to be looking for this, I have to be looking for that.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if there's crazy stuff that jumps out of you guys, like, let us know.
Yeah, and we'll talk. And we talk and message us. We'll talk back and forth with you. We're not.
Yeah. We'll read it out on the podcast.
Oh,
We'll
100%.
shout you out. We've done
whatever
it all.
it is.
It's dope.
Whatever it is. But that being said, I'm going to close it off. Remember, if you're going to show us love on Apple or Spotify, 5 stars only. And if not, I'm going to feed you to my children.
They're not vegetarian?
No, we're not vegetarian.
Oh, shit.
Peace out. Peace.